You are everyone. I'm Wally, and the rest of the listeners are Brennan, and we're roasting chips, yes.
Action. All right. Hello, everyone.
Hi, we're over here.
We are in person again.
Yes.
And there's three of us.
Yep, there's three of us.
Wow.
Aliens brought me back once again.
Oh, good. So you've been listening to the podcast. How'd that go? The aliens were they satisfied?
They really don't like me being around.
Really?
Because they make it really hard.
That's all the context we need, ladies and gentlemen.
Almost didn't get here today. It was crazy. They were like, you know what? Maybe we should just turn around and go back. It's not worth coming. You know what? Nah, we'll just give
We
it.
will turn the saucer around.
You better act correctly. We will turn this saucer.
I was
around.
pitching a fit in the back seat. They
And
don't,
then
they don't
they
understand.
just had it with you. They actually turned the saucer around.
Yeah, they saw the crackle in the space-time continuum from all the multiverse stuff going on. They were like, hold on, wait. You might need to just drop him off.
We got the wrong RJ.
Yeah, they were like, wait, there's a multiverse now? There's a timeline in which we don't have RJ? Let's go be that timeline.
I was wondering why this Earth was spelled weird.
Alright, so quick shout out before we get started, obviously.
Okay.
A quick shout out to our 300 regular listeners for this podcast
Man.
Wow.
in 9 different countries. So thank you to our listeners in Spain, Germany, Senegal, Singapore, Russia, Brazil, Canada, and Australia. And obviously you
Zero
here,
in the United States.
and
That's
obviously you
incredible.
here in the US.
Okay.
No, the U.S.
We have-
doesn't matter.
There's at least one. There's Matt in
Two,
the United
'cause
States.
I listen to it,
Oh,
too.
okay. Matt and you in the United States, and everybody else is just spread across the globe.
Exactly. But we appreciate everyone, obviously,
Thank you so
more than you
much.
know. And also, Mark Hamill is Star Wars. Brennan confirmed
Oh.
this with a tweet he sent me.
Yes.
That Mark Hamill has been a voice in every Star Wars movie since 2015. So, as we have always said,
Rogue One.
he
Solo.
is everything.
Yes.
Yeah, he just voiced like background characters, minor characters.
That's crazy. I was what's funny about that? I was looking at his like list of credits for like all the movies he's ever done.
Yeah.
So I was on a Joker binge trying
Ooh,
to figure out
okay,
how to
okay,
figure
yeah.
out like which ones he was in. But I saw there was like 3 in one movie, in one Star Wars movie.
He's
like 3
in the
different
Clone Wars,
characters.
too.
Really?
Yeah, in Season 6, he's Darth Bane. Or, no, Darth... The one. Remember when Yoda went on that trek on that dark side planet?
Oh,
He was the one that rose up.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That
I
was
really
Mark
like
Hamill.
that.
So-
I really like that.
So not only does Mark Hamill play Luke Skywalker, but he also plays all these minor characters along with Han Solo, Rey. I really like that. Just,
Mark Hamill is everyone.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
said that since episode 2.
His range is just.
Oh yeah, he's
immense.
great actor. Great actor.
yes.
But so let's get the news, shall we?
New.
So let's start off with DC because that's the first news that I saw. Leslie Grace from In the Heights fame has been cast as Batgirl, aka Barbara Gordon, in the HBO Max movie, which I
saw
thought it was a
that.
series, but it's gonna be a movie. I liked her in The Heights. In The Heights is a really good movie.
I've not seen that.
It's good. You should watch it if you
Is
get
it
a
a
chance.
musical?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That might deter me.
Really?
Yeah. Sad.
Oh well,
Don't like-
but it was a good movie. I enjoyed it, and she was awesome in it. So it'll be interesting to see her take on Leslie Grace. And of course, people complain, but they're gonna complain anyway.
Yeah. Isn't it based off of the book In the Heights?
Yeah,
there a book?
there's a play too. It's
Okay.
a book and a play.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
figured there was also a Broadway
Yeah,
play.
because it's Manuel Miranda,
Yes.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yes.
Forgot his name there for a second.
Cool.
We someone should get him to write a Marvel musical. That'd be so funny. You know, there's a Spider-Man musical. You guys know that?
Yeah.
It's not good, but it
We don't-
exists.
It doesn't exist.
Brennan's
No,
like,
I actually think I heard that there was one that was supposed to get made.
Well, they did one. It was in Universal Studios. So.
Oh, all right. There was one that's. So I saw this rumor, and I have no idea if this is true. This is probably false, but I heard a rumor there's a musical that's supposed to be made for Spider-Man, and they got Imagine Dragons to like start composing songs for it, but then it got like canceled or whatever.
Good.
But then they changed one of the songs into just a song that they could release on their own. That song was Radioactive.
Really?
Oh! Allegedly, it was supposed to be for the Spider-Man musical. I have no idea if that's true. It's,
You know what?
It sounds.
I get that. I get it.
It
now.
sounds so unbelievable that someone just made it up, but I don't know. It's very possible that is true.
Interesting.
So yeah.
That's crazy.
Anyway,
Yeah.
back to DC news.
DC news.
We went from DC. We went from Batgirl to In the Heights to Lin-Manuel Miranda to Marvel musical to Spider-Man
to
musical.
Imagine Dragons. Yeah.
Imagine Dragons.
We love tangents.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
of course.
Oh, yes.
Black Adam director Colette Serra. I don't know how to say that first name. Jaume.
I cannot spell, and the font is too small for me to see that.
Jome?
Jome.
Let's go with Jome.
Jome Colette Serra calls the film the most complex puzzle of my career. He also says, I was attracted to getting the dark version of Dwayne Johnson with his take on the character, leaning into the grittier side of Johnson's winning persona. The Rock. He dropped The Rock. It's weird.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean,
because everyone calls him The Rock.
Yeah, he hasn't been doing wrestling.
No.
Sad.
So anyway, yeah, we're gonna get a real gritty version of Black Adam, which if it's anything like what I've heard the Suicide Squad is, then I think we're gonna be good.
I love that because I was a little bit disappointed by the Captain Marvel and how not
Shazam.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Isn't that movie like really goofy?
It was so goofy.
Yeah.
It was like a kids movie almost. Mm-hmm. Which it wasn't bad by any means. Right. I thought it was hilarious, but I was hoping for a little bit more edge.
Interesting.
Instead of a guy with clearly it was a toy glass eye. You could see like the shine on it. Was weird.
I haven't seen Shazam.
You haven't seen it?
Do we have a release date for
Black Adam? I have no idea.
Or like a year?
No, I haven't seen anything.
The last time I heard anything about it, it was supposed to be late this year.
Okay.
But that was during the pandemic. When after getting pushed back.
And now it's ramping up again, so it might get pushed back again. So who knows?
Which is crazy to just think about that,
Yeah, I know.
But
Mark Hamill's just appearing again. Just him in his space cast.
Yeah.
Collider has reported that Michael B. Jordan's Superman series is in the works at HBO Max as a limited series.
Cool.
Oh, that's cool. I'm excited to see what he does with that character.
I don't know how I feel. Like, I like the idea of a black Superman.
Sure.
If they're going to do the one from the comics.
Okay.
Or, like, a derivative of it, somewhat. Because that version was good. Mm-hmm. There's a lot left to be done with it, I feel like. But, all in all, I feel like if they can get a very good version of it, live action. I mean, I have pretty, not high hopes, but mid to high. Because Michael B. Jordan is just he's a good actor.
Yeah, I haven't seen Creed, so I don't know how he is like as a good guy. I've really only seen I saw Fantastic Four, which is the only good part about Fantastic Four, and I've seen him in Black Panther, and he was amazing in that movie.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see him take on someone like Superman, and I think
I've seen him in so many different roles, from being like an anti-hero to being like. Maybe good guy, but not, which is pretty much an anti-hero. But it's not
like a morally great character.
Right? Yeah. But I've also seen him in a couple like good guy characters, and I've seen. I think I can't remember if it was the first or second Creed. Either way, it was really good. I cried.
I still need to see Creed. It's supposed to be really, really good.
Yeah, it's quite emotional, and I never seen any of the Rocky movies, so. All I've seen is the memes.
Yeah, no, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Where does it fit in the DCEU? Because they're a mess. They'll always be a mess, I think.
I don't think it...
Is it supposed to fit in there?
Maybe.
Hope not.
Is there a DCEU still?
I want it to just be a standalone thing. Where
just kind of on its own?
Right, like the CW series or something,
Yeah. Well, they might start incorporating that in the DCEU. So.
But apparently the actor who plays the Flash and the CW Flash is supposed to cameo in the Flashpoint movie.
I like that just because Flash, the different versions of Flash all over the place, with all the different worlds and stuff.
It's really weird because I don't remember the actor's name from the movie. It's Ezra
Miller.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ezra Miller had a cameo in the Flash TV series at one point. In a weird way, because in the Flash TV series, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it, but it's too annoying to really watch with any whatever. Yeah. But like the multiverse is a thing, and then the multiverse gets destroyed completely. Like there's only one Earth left. But like while they were all getting destroyed and there's supposed to be no Earth, like the Flash from that series met the Flash from wherever, and he was like, "How do you exist? There's no more multiverse, where are you from? And then Ezra was like, I don't know.
Okay, wait.
And he was like, who are you? And then all of a sudden they sped past each other or whatever.
So
and that was the only cameo. So that's supposed to get another cameo in the Flashpoint movie. Maybe it'll be at the same time. Maybe take place at the same moment in time or whatever. And also the other side where Ezra in the movies were running over and sees Granny. He's like, I don't know. Who are you? What's going on?
So is Ezra Miller the one who's going to be in the Flash movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I didn't want them to... Because it would be very DC to pick a new person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. I mean, they are doing the new Batman, so...
It's
well, that's what I mean.
It's far too confusing. I'm hoping what happens in the Flashpoint movie is they stop trying to connect any more of the DC movies and they're all just standalone now. Because DC had its chance to go back to individual movies and hopefully one day it can build up
They're not gonna
to this
do that.
whole whatever universe.
They need a Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they need.
What they need is to hire the writers who did all of the animated stuff,
like
in the 2000s or whatever. Because that was, you had like whatever Batman series and Batman Beyond and the Justice League series and whatever. Yeah. They were all tied together. They all took place in the same shared universe.
Yeah, and all of those shows did have like the same writers too throughout.
Yeah,
for the most part.
So get like them. I know they haven't done like live action stuff, but at least they can weave a coherent story.
Right, something easy to make a script for.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that hard, man. I remember we were talking about that one of the past times we did it in person.
Yeah.
With the DC animated movies in specific.
Oh, alright. Maybe we did. Brain totally fried. I'm like,
well, no, I was gonna lean off of that and say that if they do that, I feel like that would be a lot better because the animated movies, a lot of them are standalone.
Yeah,
there's so many of them,
right?
That you could pick one from any year and not know what year it actually came out, and it would be like, oh man, this is great.
Yeah.
Oh no,
we'll see what happens.
Two more pieces of DC news. Winston Duke has been cast as Batman in the upcoming Spotify podcast called Batman Unburied. The podcast follows Bruce Wayne as a forensic pathologist tasked with examining victims of the Harvester, a gruesome villain.
So it's like
That's
a
cool.
show then, like a podcast style? Is that what it's saying?
It's like
they have Marvel's
Okay. First time hearing about that, when you first started, it was like, wait, did they cast someone to just play Batman and he has a podcast? He's like just talking like as Batman.
Well, it's like the Ron Burgundy podcast.
That's true. Yeah.
Another podcast I have not heard of. What?
Have you seen Anchorman?
No.
With Will Ferrell?
I've heard of it.
He plays a character in the movie called Ron Burgundy, and he's like
a TV anchor.
Yeah, he's a TV anchor, but like he reads everything word for word on the screen.
Yeah,
and like someone like messed with him and changed it, and like he didn't notice because he just read it straight up and didn't care. But after that, his life goes downhill anyway. And there's a big fight between all the TV studios. It's really funny. You need to watch it.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't believe I'm recommending a movie. I don't watch any movies. I watched Step Brothers for the first time yesterday.
Really?
Yes.
Man, that's a great one.
I am excited for this upcoming podcast then, where Batman becomes an Anchorman.
Yeah. Switch it up.
Anchor Bat.
Yes.
There you go. But yeah, so I guess
Batman, we have the name and everything.
Yeah, there we go. So I guess it's because they're tapping into the true crime people who love true crime, and then the DC people coming to one saying, Batman, true crime.
Sweet.
Except it's not true.
It sounds a lot like the old radio shows.
Yeah, it's essentially what it is. Well, they have one right now. It's called I don't know if it's based on the comics. Called Old Man Star-Lord.
Oh.
And it takes place in the same universe that Old Man Logan takes place in. So I listened to it. The voices are really annoying.
Really?
Well, yeah, it's very annoying, but. I mean, it was fine. The story was good.
It would be nice if this Batman gets back to more of the detective roots instead of the I'm going and punch criminals.
I haven't seen a very good detective Batman in a while.
And the detective thing is one of the most interesting parts of Batman,
right?
Because when you have Superman or whatever, it's you're trying to amp up Batman's strength or whatever. It's cool, but he would still lose in a punching contest with Superman. Like,
Yeah.
his mind is where it's really interesting.
Right.
Yeah,
To explore.
Same. Then that goes for the new Batman movie as well.
Yeah,
I hope
which-
they kind of go into the
Yeah, I'm
detective
hoping
kind of stuff.
it looks like at first they were going down that road, and I saw some news or whatever that made me think like, oh, are they not
More
going
punching-
down that
more
road
punching in the
route
face
as much?
contests.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
with the
We'll see.
Riddler being the villain in the movie.
You'd
Yeah.
think that he would have to be a more
Right.
detective.
Well,
like,
my whole thing with this movie is if they're doing a grittier version of the Riddler, I hope they're going for Hush, the version of Hush that is the Riddler,
right.
and where they just can they just really like killing villains off in all the superhero movies.
Yes, they hate they hate layered villains for multiple movies,
Yeah.
except Thanos.
So I feel like this would be the perfect time to do that if
Yeah.
they want to do
Yeah.
that. Just have them in there, be Hush, make it a really good detective movie, and then kill him at the end, and then Joker. Why
And then Joker.
Right? Why Joker? You know, just
Because he's got to be in everything. Jared Leto signed that contract.
Yeah.
And then lastly, the Suicide Squad had its premiere on July 26th, and a lot of
Yes.
people I follow on the TikTok went and saw it. They all said it was the best DCEU movie by far. Don't get your hopes up. The Suicide Squad arrives in theaters and HBO Max this Friday. Sounded like an ad. We're not sponsored. I wish.
I can't wait to watch
Yeah.
it.
I'm probably gonna go sometime this weekend.
I've
to go see
heard
it.
almost.
I'm just watching it on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Unless they shut down everything again. But-
Yeah, like I've heard almost all good things about it. The only kind of meh thing I've heard is that the
Spoiler alert, I guess.
villain. I won't name anything specifically,
The
but
villain?
but
one?
but the villain isn't as strong. I can't name which one because then it'll be a spoiler for anyone. I'm pretty sure it's named in like one of the ads, but still.
Oh, okay.
The villain isn't really that strong. It's kind of just meh, but like everything else kind of makes up for that. That was like the one complaint I heard.
Well, I mean, James Gunn. See, I feel like James Gunn could do a Deadpool movie really well. Or something like that. 'Cause he did really well with Guardians of the Galaxy, but I feel like the rated R would have really gotten more out of it.
Yeah. I don't know though.
But I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But that's just
But I am excited. I'm just excited to see because it's been hyped up recently in like the media tours, whatever they're doing. That like James Gunn was told he could just kill off any character he wanted to.
Oh, really?
And like he did, apparently.
Man.
So it's like trying to watch because we have this giant cast, and apparently a lot of them are just gonna like die out of nowhere. So
I've heard King Shark's really good this movie.
oh, okay,
I
okay.
can't wait for
I know.
all of that.
I love King Shark,
Isn't it-
especially in the Harley Quinn series.
Isn't King Shark
I don't know who voices
oh
him.
man. It's not Batista.
No.
I have
He wants
no
to play
idea.
Bane.
I have no idea.
I've heard that a couple times, that he wants to play Bane.
I don't know how I feel.
They ever bring
about
him
that.
back.
I don't know how I feel about that.
You don't. You don't feel anything about that.
Okay.
Alright, so next, we got
Next.
Marvel news.
Marvel. We're out of DC now. We're into Marvel.
Yep, and I had to make sure I put how to say this person's name. I'm good this time. According to Variety, Michaela Coel. Oh shit! I should put how you say that. Oh, maybe it's Cole. Michaela Cole has been cast in Black Panther 2. She was nominated for 4 Emmys recently and is speculated to play Storm, though Madam Slay has also come up. Madam Slay actually resurrected Killmonger in the comics. So I actually think that'd be an interesting storyline there.
You know what? I feel like that's more likely than Storm.
Yeah,
because
that's what I think it's too early for X-Men.
Yeah.
But she's obviously very good at what she does. 4 Emmys in the last Emmy
Do you know
awards.
what
so-
else she's been in? I don't recognize.
I don't remember. I don't know, but whatever she was in, she was really good at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's been a lot of news coming out about Black Panther recently. Let's see, movies and TV. She was in Chewing Gum, I May Destroy You, Black Earth Rising, Black Mirror, Been So Long, Star Wars, The Last Jedi.
Really?
Yeah, guess so.
Who's she there?
I don't know. Cast. Let's see. This is great for audio medium.
Oh yes. I will narrate.
It doesn't say.
He is scrolling. He was unable to find.
It does
anything.
not say.
He's still scrolling.
I'm
There's some
going
stuff.
backwards.
He's going backwards on some tabs.
But yeah, she's been in some stuff.
This is great for a visual medium too.
Yeah, I know. It's just sitting here, me sitting here on my phone. I think she got nominated for "I May Destroy You,"
Interesting.
but
Okay.
yeah.
Never heard of it, but cool.
But yeah, so that's what. So she's
Exciting to see either character though.
yeah.
Honestly.
Resurrecting Killmonger would be a very interesting
I
plot
feel
line
like
for a third Black Panther.
that would. I don't know how I feel about that because that kind of ruins the end of Black Panther.
Yeah.
That's
It
true.
like takes away the.
I feel like that's
impact
probably
of it.
how it went in the comics too. People were like, "Oh, this ruins the last when he died."
Well, Killmonger in the comics was definitely 100% villain,
That's true.
just out to fuck shit up.
Sure,
So
sure. But either way, I almost said Madam Storm, Madam Slay or Storm,
yeah.
either would be awesome. Jake Johnson confirms he'll be back for the Spider-Verse 2.
Who did he play in Spider-Verse 1?
Spider-Man who was lazy.
Ah,
Yeah,
Oh,
Jake Johnson from New Girl.
he was funny.
He's
Peter
He's funny.
B. Parker.
Peter B. Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then the cool one who did all the stuff was Peter A. Parker. I remember that joke from. It was really funny.
I didn't even know that.
Oh
is funny.
man.
Here's my favorite one.
Yeah,
I
this
looked
is
at
the
notes.
big one. I don't know.
was
I don't know
excited.
if you
As
saw
soon as I
this,
saw it, I texted Wally like all caps. I sent him
immediately.
the
He said, "Holy
link or
shit!"
whatever.
All right,
Very
so
excited.
according to a Reddit post, which you haven't know, this has been it's now made the news cycles.
Yeah.
But this is originally where it was from the Marvel Spoilers Reddit page. Vincent D'Onofrio is set to reprise his role as Kingpin in the Hawkeye series.
Yes,
Charlie
I did
Cox's
see
Daredevil was also tied to the show, but because of scheduling conflicts, couldn't be in it. The same post went on to say that Daredevil will be in No Way Home, and both will reprise their roles in the upcoming Echo show.
I'm sorry. So Daredevil.
Yes.
Daredevil will be in No Way Home,
No Way Home.
and Kingpin will be in Hawkeye.
Yes.
Because I think that's going to be a backdoor, backdoor pilot for Echo, which is supposed to be a show that's coming to 2023 maybe.
Okay.
I don't know when, but Echo has really close ties to Daredevil as well.
Yeah.
So if they bring, so I guess in the Echo show, Daredevil will be like a side character in that show.
That's cool.
So-
Hope so. Because
That's really
I just want Daredevil.
Yeah.
And apparently, according to this, like another speculation, it's like Daredevil was supposed to appear in like both Hawkeye and Spider-Man. People are speculating the scheduling conflicts are he couldn't film for both Spider-Man and Hawkeye like at the same time, so they ended up having him
Okay.
just in Spider-Man. But it means that
Okay.
they're going to be very connected. And apparently, Hawkeye, according to the same post, Hawkeye is supposed to lead into the Spider-Man series like directly there. So it's supposed to like the
I
series
think
is
it's
supposed to end
episode 4. No, because
Five. when it's.
episode 4 is supposed to come out that day, unless they're releasing
Oh, yeah?
2 on the first day.
Oh, okay.
No, because I actually wrote something about this. Someone
Interesting.
online
Okay.
posted that like, it's supposed to be 6 episodes long. That's actually later on in this, but we'll get there now.
Looks like
So
I'm
the
so
release
excited
date for
for Daredevil.
Hawkeye is November 24th. We got
All
that
right.
for sure.
All right. Okay.
Which is the Wednesday, and then
Isn't that like the
it will have
Wednesday-
6 episodes.
Isn't that-
Everything's Wednesday now.
No, but isn't that the Wednesday like directly before Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Yes. Right. Like the
Okay,
day before
so,
Thanksgiving.
wow.
So they're gonna have 2 episodes. That
Oh, they
first
might.
day.
It may be.
Because you can't. It would kind of be
It would be weird, right?
to release on
And
the
then-
Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're gonna do 1 or 2 episodes. If it's 2 episodes, it makes total sense. That'll be 6 episodes long. So if they do 2 episodes, the 5th episode will come out right before Spider-Man. The 4th, if they only release 1 that day.
Okay.
Either way, they're both going to be interconnected. Having D'Onofrio's Kingpin bat will be awesome. He was so
I
good.
loved him as Kingpin, and I loved
So good.
Charlie Cox as Daredevil. Both of them were fantastic,
I
and
still need to
the
watch
possibility of
Daredevil.
getting you haven't seen Daredevil,
I
you
still-
have
Oh
to
my
watch
God,
it.
you
That's,
have
I think
to
that's
watch it.
the only
Ev-
Marvel show I haven't seen.
every show
That,
you-
well, no, that
Really?
one and Punisher. I haven't
Oh,
watched
Punisher
it.
was good
I haven't
too.
seen Punisher either. Well, now I have Netflix,
Punisher
so
was-
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah,
sometime.
like-
every show you were watching, stop watching it and watch Daredevil.
Yes, yeah.
Like it is that good.
Okay.
and then
Let's not overhype it though.
Punisher, yes. So it's like Daredevil has like 3 seasons, and like the first and third season are tied very close together. And season 2 is kind of this outlier where it was kind of like a backdoor pilot for both the Defenders and Punisher.
Okay.
And then like the Punisher series, like the first season ties directly off of Daredevil season 2. It's kind of like a conclusion to that arc.
Okay.
And then season 2 is like a standalone, like more standalone compared to season 1, like Punisher story.
Well, and season 3 starts
so
right
good.
where Defenders ends.
Of Punisher.
No, of Daredevil. Season
Daredevil,
3 of
yes.
Daredevil
Yes.
takes place right after Defenders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but for Punisher season 2 especially was so good.
I haven't seen that either, but it's supposed to be good. I don't know how they bring him in the MCU.
But yeah, like
Yeah,
I mean,
it's gonna be weird.
With the MCU, with like the Deadpool movie, you know, going R-rated, so the MCU is kind of saying like, okay, we can go R-rated for some stuff. Maybe with the Punisher will work.
Right.
Because the Punisher, there's no way to do that
thought
without it
they
being
also wanted to
R-rated.
make Blade rated R. Maybe not. I don't remember.
Especially,
I thought that was like confirmed already.
I don't remember.
like, especially with like the Punisher, this isn't really like spoiler heavy. You can kind of assume with this comics, but there are like scenes where there's just like torture, like just like very like the Punisher gets beat up. Like he does not look good at any point during the first season, I think.
Well, D'Onofrio too. Like in season 2 of Daredevil, he destroys people. Like that show is so gory. It's so good though. It's, and just from the few Daredevil comics I've read, it's so accurate. Like so accurate to the tone. It gets a really good show.
You
definitely need to watch it, especially if it's going to start getting tied in.
Yeah.
Now, the only issue I have with this is that I don't know if the MCU writers will write it as well as the Netflix ones did.
Ooh,
and that's my biggest issue so far.
Because
I don't think they can make it as dark and gritty.
Yeah, I think that's what is going to be missing from it once Disney starts get their hands on it. Just because the Netflix writers, for whatever reason,
they could do it
so much more freedom.
Yeah.
I mean, Netflix just in general has. I mean, there's boobs in every show that they make.
Yeah, that's true.
And a dick, apparently. I've never watched that. I haven't had Netflix in years, but my friend said everything he watches on Netflix is boobs and dicks.
That is probably him.
I was gonna say that sounds like he's got a weird niche going on.
Maybe. Well, I mean, what did he watch? He watched The Witcher. And
if that's what you're watching,
Sex Ed.
Well, I mean,
show.
Those two
with a name
shows.
like that,
so
you're probably
maybe
gonna
not.
get
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, but just with like, because isn't the MCU doing like a Daredevil show? Daredevil will kind of be like more like a side character in each of these. So like, there's not gonna be too much focus on him anyway. So I don't think there'll be time for bad writing with him. I'm hoping they don't like destroy his character as soon as he's on screen.
Well,
I guess we'll find out. But no matter what, I am excited to see this version of him, like how he's played before.
It'll be interesting to see the dark, gritty Charlie Cox Daredevil with kind of the lighthearted kid version of Spider-Man that Tom Holland does.
Yeah,
it'll be a very interesting dynamic, and I just to see them kind of. I really hope, and I know we're probably going to get the Spider-Verse in this, but it seems like there's going to be too much in this movie already. But if there's no Spider-Verse in it, well, first off, a lot of people are going to be very disappointed. Not me. But a team-up film between Daredevil and Spider-Man is just all I want.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or Deadpool, whatever.
I want Spider-Man to team up with one of the other Red characters.
They have a comic book. It's like called Team Red or something like that.
Yeah.
What I'm absolutely hoping for is like I don't even mind if like we don't see Daredevil because it'd be kind of cool to build up to the idea of Daredevil, not just introduce him immediately.
Like
I'm hoping that we
introduce Matt.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we just see like Spider-Man have to go to court over the whole like his identity being revealed and like Matt Murdock represents him. That's what I've wanted ever since there was a rumor.
So you want courtroom drama?
I mean, that would be really cool.
That would be cool,
because he's a good lawyer.
Yeah, and I would love to see Matt Murdock because all of us know like, oh, he's Daredevil, but like it builds up in the MCU instead of just being like, oh, have a hero and he's gone now. Just knowing that there will be that build up.
Like build it up and like they see it like sometime at the end and then it leads into the Echo show.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Or even like even if they like reboot the character like totally or whatever, because obviously they can't really lead directly in from the Netflix show to here.
Right.
Or I mean, they kind of could try, but I don't think that
no,
like,
they can because I'm remembering the end of it now. They can.
It's
not directly, not exactly, but
yeah, it depends on like the time frame they want the series to take place in, because obviously
a couple years after that.
Yeah,
when did that end? 2017 or 18?
It ended in 18.
It ended in 18, so it's been
but like,
the MCU 6 years. 5 years.
They'll have to see how they want to do for pacing, because obviously, the series can't exist while, like, Thanos wiped off like half the population or whatever, like the Sokovian Accords, because they don't reference any of that stuff.
They reference the New York. That's it.
Tie it in. Yeah. They reference the Avengers, the whole Avengers battle in 2012.
Apparently, with the timeline, all of the Marvel shows are like right in between, like the first Avengers, and I think it's what's the very next thing that happened?
Was it Ultron?
Iron Man 3 came after Avengers, like next chronologically. I'd
have to look. I'd have to look online, but
have the list. Hold on.
But
or Captain America: The Winter Soldier. That wasn't too far after.
I think it was that and Iron Man 3.
No. It couldn't have been that because Captain America: The Winter Soldier came right before Avengers 2.
Yeah, it'll be weird, but you know what I think they could do is like include them in all this. The Daredevil and Foggy.
Yes.
They could have been the one snapped and Karen still be there, and then so they would have been gone for 5 years, and then they just kind of pick them right back up where they were at the end.
And that is something that's something I would kind of like to see too. Is the only characters we know are returning are like the big ones. You have Daredevil and Kingpin. I would really like to see Foggy and Karen back.
Me too.
Because even them, like I really liked how they played their characters.
We spent a lot of time on this.
Also,
especially Karen, I just want to say, because like I know after Daredevil ended, she had a hard time finding more roles.
Which sucks because she was amazing in that show.
She was really good.
Also,
yeah.
It is, you were right, the Avengers and then Iron Man 3.
Sweet.
Okay.
So
all of them take place in that range?
It like in between the Avengers and the Winter Soldier. So that's Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, and then Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So all in between all of that. Yeah.
Okay. So they'd have to fill in from that time to the snap.
Yeah.
And then post snap.
Which I think that would be kind of easy considering.
Yeah, you just kind of say, I've just been doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the hand's gone, as far as we know, I think.
No,
I don't.
I mean, it would take some finagling. Yeah. I don't know if Marvel is as determined to incorporate the TV series.
Well,
so
now
interested to see if it's kind of like a soft reboot of the characters, or if they kind of just.
They could also retcon it and say it takes place between Ultron and Infinity War. They could do that too.
Yeah.
And just again keep right because I mean none of those things happened in New York. The stuff that you mentioned.
Yeah, but like
so they could just they still referenced New York because that was the last major thing.
But like,
it would take more than 5 years to recover from that.
Starting in like Civil War though, with these like Sokovia Accords, you'd expect there to be some tie-in with like Daredevil and like all these heroes because they should be held accountable with that.
Yeah, especially with Jessica Jones because that was like kind of a big thing with her arcs.
Yeah, that was a huge thing.
And the Defenders. Yeah, just the Defenders in general. Yeah. Interesting.
But they could also just use the cop out of the multiverse. That's a thing.
Which is something that I'm thinking might happen too. But I don't know how much they want to just bring in old properties like that. I mean, they kind of are with Spider-Man. If the Spider-Man movie we are getting is the Spider-Verse one,
which I don't want it yet.
Yeah,
I mean,
I hope it's a setup at the end of the movie. That's all. I mean, I've discussed this before.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll see.
The way that with as many characters as they have confirmed to be in there, with Doc Ock, both of the old Spider-Man. Yeah. Who else?
Well, I don't know if they've even technically confirmed anything. Marvel hasn't. Insiders have, but
It would be so funny. Okay, hear me out here. The entire movie is like a courtroom drama, right? Where Spider-Man's just on trial the entire time. Just in the background, out the big window in the back, you just see like portals opening up and like the other Spider-Man coming in and fighting like Doc Ock and their rivals, looking confused and diving back in. That's all you get.
You know what would be really cool? Yeah. So the end of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, where it ends with him fighting Rhino.
Yeah.
Or he's supposed to fight Rhino, but then it just cuts.
Yeah. Rhino's my favorite.
Right. What they could do with that is they could just open up like a portal or something there.
And they both run through it.
Right. Like it's supposed like it opens up right in between them.
And then they still are able to hit each other and they end up in the same universe.
Well, no, they go into like opposite universes.
The Rhino goes to hit him and it's Peter and it's the first Spider-Man.
Yeah.
What the?
Because he's fighting Doc Ock and it interrupts his fight.
And there you go.
And then
figured it out.
And then that just deletes Spider-Man 3 because that movie was terrible. And that means we can put Venom in the MCU. There we go. Fixed it.
Moving on. We've spent way too much time talking about Daredevil.
There's one more thing I wanted
That's
to
how
add.
much we want Daredevil in this.
Yeah. There's one last thing I wanted to add with all this, because this kind of reminded me of what's happening in like the CW verse right now with like their DC shows. Because there's Constantine, who's been in Legends of Tomorrow, and I've talked about this before. How Constantine used to have his own series, and he was like this really dark show or whatever, and he came in Legends of Tomorrow as this like lighthearted character and all that stuff. The last arc of Constantine now has gotten insane, because like he lost his magic because he gave it up to save his friends or whatever, and he wanted to like get it back.
Okay.
And he very much went back to his old like adaptation of just, I will do whatever I want at any cost to get this back. And it was so funny to watch, because after the past like 2 seasons of him just being, this more like fun guy learning to get along with others or whatever, like play well with others.
What do you mean? Complete 360?
To all of a sudden he like drank like blood or whatever to like temporarily get magic back as like a drug, and then like he like brainwashed his friends to forget like all this stuff. And like betrayed everybody, and like basically like they didn't confirm that he killed this child, but I kind of think he killed this child. And it just came out of nowhere, because the show had been like so just like not paying attention to all the dark stuff he's done in his past for so long. All of a sudden he's just back. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. It came out of nowhere, but sure, this is neat now.
He looked at the child and was like, well, Anakin can do it.
If it's good enough for the chosen one.
Exactly. If it's good enough for the chosen one.
Oh man.
Callbacks from the last time we were together.
Yeah.
All right. Next, moving on.
Moving on. Finally.
So long. Cine8 on Instagram posted a picture of a very large pool/tank with the caption that says "Captain." No, it does say "Captain." With the caption, "Doing a little diving in the Black Panther tank today. Let's have some fun." This may have confirmed Namor and the Atlanteans and Black Panther too.
Yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah. They didn't cast me. What the fuck?
Oh, sad.
They were looking for a Mayan male. Hello.
Yeah.
I'm the only Mayan male. No, I'm not the only male.
The only one right for the job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know all of it.
All right, I guess I'll have to.
Don't worry.
That's
Still holding on hope for Wolverine.
Wolverine, exactly.
Yeah.
What
Still
was it?
that.
What was the
Wally for Wolverine or something like that.
Yeah.
There's also the Star Wars character.
Space Wolverine.
Space Wolverine?
Yeah, Space
So,
Wolverine.
I don't remember.
But yeah, I'm excited.
Just claws
The
with like
Atlanteans had them.
lightsabers.
I mean, they've already.
Claws with lightsabers, just.
That would have to hurt like a lot more than just the regular.
Freaking the crystal, the kyber crystal, put in your hands.
No, because Wolverine has the vibranium claws because his bones are like vibranium. What if your bones are just lightsabers? Just all lightsabers.
Constant pain.
Yeah.
Oh man, but no, I like that they're finally bringing like
Namor?
Atlantis and Namor into it, because they've already
Yeah.
said like a couple tidbits here and there.
It's interesting though. It's like the more stuff they bring in, it's like the more of the question. It's like, where were all these other people during like Infinity War and Endgame? And
At least with Atlantis, their whole thing is they don't mess with the surface world. They have the entire
Except
ocean.
Wakanda, because apparently fuck Wakanda, according to them.
I feel like that they're gonna bring back something having to do with T'Chaka.
Probably.
Or maybe a earlier generation, because Namor, they might do the Namor that's like been around for like 100 years or something like that, where he's like old.
Interesting.
Next piece of news.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special will be less than 40 minutes long, and will include a things to know before watching Volume 3. So basically, it's the reskin Star Wars holiday special without all the music.
Hopefully
they just couldn't get the rights.
Hopefully they'll do music.
No Jefferson airship.
Starship?
Yeah. No Jefferson Starship. No, it is space. Airplane. Jefferson
Why
Airplane.
is it gonna be so?
I don't know. They have like 8 names.
Sure.
They have 2 names.
Yes.
Jefferson Airplane, Jefferson Starship. Starship.
I wish it was longer, but as long as they have kind of that like cheesy vibe still, I'm cool with it being shorter.
We need Luke Skywalker with heavy makeup.
Yes.
And Luke Skywalker. And it has to be Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
We know.
Luke Skywalker playing Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill playing Luke Skywalker playing Mark Hamill?
Yes.
Alright.
I mean, it's Mark Hamill. He has the range for it.
I'm hoping that the holiday special is solid. The whole things to know thing kind of like bugs me right now, because I don't want it to turn into like the Marvel's like Legends type thing where it's really horribly edited bits.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any of them. It's been a while.
I
I watched the
watched
Falcon and the Winter Soldier one.
Yeah, I watched the first two on Bucky and
I watched
that
Wanda
was
and
it.
Vision as well. But
Yeah, I
I
watched the
watched
one
it.
for Wanda and Vision, and I watched the one for Loki.
yeah, you said that was really bad.
Yeah, the Loki one was awful. It made no sense. Like, nothing was chronological, and they didn't even, like, end with what they should have ended with. Like, if you watched that and then you watched Loki immediately after, you'd be more confused than if you just started watching, like, a Loki. I promise.
I'm sure you guys saw this, but Scarlett Johansson is suing
Yes.
Disney.
Yeah.
We don't have to dive into this because all I saw was that it was happening, and I don't really want to dive into it. It's just rich people fighting with rich companies.
Yeah.
But it was basically she sued Disney for going to streaming her salary for the movie, supposedly based off of box office numbers. When she reached out for renegotiation of the terms when they said it was going to go to streaming, Disney Marvel did not answer her back. So she's trying to get the money she's deservedly. She's deserved it to get. So
Yeah, it's like essentially what happened with that. Just touching on it lightly, it's like her contract was basically it's like, oh, you'll get like
But
money primarily based on how well this movie does
box
in
office.
theaters.
When
And
the
then
Panini happened.
yeah. And then when it was streaming, and then they were like, oh yeah, we're not gonna like because like the theater numbers are significantly less, so we're gonna pay you significantly less now. She's suing because of that.
I thought the box office was like what, like 60 million something.
Something like that. It was pretty good. She
But that
did
that
really
was-
well.
That
But
was for the Disney Plus though.
Yeah.
The, like theaters was like I think it was
130?
like 12. Yeah, like it was in
130
the 100. It was 100
for the first weekend, and then it dropped
Yeah.
to 60 something. But
I mean, either way, the fact I don't understand why she's upset that she would make.
because she wants more money.
But she would
you know
get
how
more money if you would get money from both.
she's not getting money
No.
from both.
Yeah, or
That's why she's
Oh,
suing. That's
okay.
why she's suing.
Okay.
It's like she gets some streaming, but it's like a much smaller amount than what she gets from like the
From the movie. Okay.
yeah, from like the theatrical piece of it there. And apparently there's some estimate that like obviously this estimate is probably more on the inflated side or whatever, just for her, but it's like like apparently in like the lawsuit it alleges that like Disney cost her like $50 million, something like that. Like that's what she would have gotten if it was
only
grouped.
box office.
Yeah, if it was only released in theaters and not on streaming or whatever. Which I mean, you know, whatever. You're not like on the side street or whatever, but like also
Right.
Disney shouldn't like just treat people horribly. Like like anytime there's anything like against Disney, it's like, yeah, they're probably right, because Disney is too big for its own good. It's too much money for its own good.
Right.
Why are you as a massive company trying to con someone out of like $50 million here? That's like pocket change.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
that's
and
like
then-
that's like the second time that's happened.
Well, and then Gerard Butler sued whatever studio he was working for $10 million for Olympus Has Fallen, which came out in 2013. So it's like, you know what? I should do that.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
whatever.
So I'm hoping that Disney gets knocked down like
This
a peg
will
at
affect
least
them zero.
from that.
This
yeah.
will affect them zero. They will still not care.
Hopefully it'll affect their pride some.
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
The fact
I
that
can
they,
hope.
they
It'd
have
be like
reason to
you
respond.
suing me for a
can hope.
nickel. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter to
Yeah,
them.
give me my nickel. Give me Mr. Krabs.
Yeah.
Feel it now.
But, alright, so Star Wars news. There's two
Oh,
pieces
wow.
of Star Wars news.
Fun
According to LRM, which has also gone around other places, there's a rumor going around that Lucasfilm has cast Lars Mikkelsen as Thrawn and Mena Massoud as Ezra Bridger for what it is unknown at the moment. Though people are expecting it to be the Ahsoka show. Lars Mikkelsen was the voice of Thrawn in Rebels, and Mena Massoud played Aladdin in live-action adaptation of the animated film. This was semi-confirmed by Rosario Dawson when she posted this news on her Instagram story with "cannot wait." So I'm assuming they're going to be the Ahsoka show, which means you finally get to figure out what happened to them.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that's who they decided to cast as Thrawn, because that's who I've wanted, because he was so good as his voice.
He was very good, yeah.
So
it was quite crazy how good he was.
yes, he encapsulated exactly how I thought Thrawn should sound.
Yeah.
It was kind of strange because I remember seeing a lot of speculation on casting for Thrawn and all that. And when I saw this announcement of like who they think would cast, I was like, it's honestly kind of weird that it was never speculated that the voice actor would play him.
Well, he looks like him too.
I thought that was just kind of assumed because they did it with Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, so I am glad that it did work out like this. So hopefully, I don't know if we have a release date for Ahsoka or anything.
Oh, I think was it 2022? I think it's 2022.
Yeah, it's next year.
Sometime next year. Yeah. I don't think we have a date.
It's like
we have a year.
Hopefully, it's not too late in that year. Okay,
it's
maybe it's too late.
Because they want to. I don't think they want to do it. Because the book of Boba Fett is supposed to be coming out on Christmas.
Yeah.
So that's gonna run until like.
And then I think Mandalorian's after that.
February. Well, they just started filming that.
Oh, did they just start filming?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think that was something I saw like this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just been busy too. So busy the past 2 or 3 days, I haven't seen any news. But and then lastly, this is more that has to do with the books. The third Phase 1 of the High Republic was announced at San Diego Comic-Con at home. 3 novels were announced along with who was writing each one. This part of the phase will start in January 2022. Whenever you guys eventually want to read it or I'd get an audiobook first.
Interesting.
Because they're a little cheaper and they're really, really well done. Those books there at the end, they all have like the gold and black backs right there at the beginning.
Those are new ones.
Yeah,
I got a couple the last time I was here.
I got 3 new ones.
Isn't either. I like that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. I got the 3rd one. I need to find the 2nd one. Anyway, though it's the High Republic, it's new to Star Wars canon. It takes 200 years. Takes place 200 years before Episode 1.
Okay.
And it's the High Republic. It's like the highest point for the Republic. It's so good. Let me tell you, like those, Light of the Jedi and Rising Storm, they're like the adult novels. They're like reading movies. They're so well written. They're so good.
Okay.
So if you guys ever get a chance to pick up an audiobook at work or something like that,
sure. I would absolutely love to see Yoda as a nice young 600-year-old man.
Well, no, he is in it. They're doing comics as well for this.
Oh, okay.
They do, and then the new comic actually just came out today. They're doing comics, audio dramas coming next month or at the end of this month. They're doing books, and then also they have the Acolyte, which is coming out. I think in the next couple of years. That ties into all this stuff. So.
And that's supposed to be like a show.
Yes, that's a show. Yeah, that's supposed to be a show. That's the first bit of on-screen stuff we'll get for the High Republic. So,
I'm looking forward to that.
I saw something saying that it was going to be a movie at one point, or like a not like a full feature film, but like an hour and a half kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I would rather it be a show and be able to flesh out all the characters. And especially if it's going to be,
especially with tie-ins with the novels.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're really good, and for anyone who hasn't read them, I highly recommend it, or at least in an audiobook, because they're all really well done. Like, all the audiobooks, they have, like, music and sound effects and stuff in the back, which most audiobooks don't have. That's really awesome.
Oh.
And then finally, random piece of news. The PBS show Arthur has announced that it will have its 25th and final season in 2022. Did you know it was still on? No. I didn't. I didn't realize. I didn't realize Arthur was only a year older than me.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's been going for 25 years. I think what you said.
Starting next year, next season. Next year will be its 25th.
The most insane part of that I found out, because I actually looked into that, because I'd been gone for a while, and I knew there were new episodes coming out still. But what I didn't realize until I looked into it is they actually stopped making new episodes in 2018. These are still the episodes that they made back then.
Oh my god!
They have a bunch of new episodes they released, but they haven't recorded anything new in 2018.
I guess that's why the one's coming out next year.
Yeah, which is how it was found out initially, because initially it was like leaked because there was someone who's being interviewed who voiced one of the characters.
Okay.
And he was like, "Yeah, we haven't recorded anything new since 2018." It kind of wrapped. We had this huge party. It was over.
Oh man!
And then everyone online was like, who was keeping up with the show or whatever, fan as a child or whatever was like, "Oh my god!" And then so PBS had to come out and confirm it. They were like, "It's over. Next season is like our last one, and then we're done."
Wow, so, I can't believe it's been on for that long.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember there's a big controversy when they introduced a gay couple in the show because people are strange.
I vaguely remember that.
I don't know if this is the same thing as that, but I know that the teacher was confirmed to be gay.
He got married in the show.
Yeah. I do remember that episode.
Yeah, because I never watched, but I remember that he was like, "Oh, I'm getting married," and they're like, "Oh, to who?" or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, this dude," or whatever, and and like it was nice. I don't get why people were like so upset about that.
You know
but, like,
exactly why people
yeah,
are upset.
It's
Yeah, I
because
do.
it's a kids show, and they're like, "You're force feeding this to my kids," because that's the same thing going on with Rugrats right now.
I didn't know what was going on.
With the they're
I know they're
like
rebooting it.
Yeah, it's basically what the SpongeBob like summer camp thing is, where it's like it's kind of CG animated, but it looks like claymation or whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, but so in that though, Phil and Lil's mom is like confirmed to be gay and like two moms.
Cool.
But people are upset about that because in the old show she had a husband. It wasn't a very
bisexuality is a thing.
Yeah. So I don't understand the problem.
It kind of is like a weird thing where it's like you have like an established relationship from like the previous thing that you're changing
also,
for whatever.
divorce is a thing.
Yeah,
very prevalent as well.
Yeah, and it's like a huge deal, especially with like kid shows or whatever. Yeah. It's like but like it's people getting upset about stuff like that is just insane to me. Like. I know, living especially time right now where everyone is just it's
getting better, but it's very, very slow.
Yeah, it's just in it getting better kind of exposes all the people who are like, this is horrible, or especially when you have the internet, people can like make petitions, be like, let's
that never do anything.
Yeah, make Mr. Ratburn marry someone else. But at least with that one, it's like that made total sense in his character or whatever, because it's not like they like changed his character. They were just like, oh yeah, here's something. This is totally normal.
He's never been shown as a relationship. Yeah. But guess what? Like most normal adults, he's in a relationship.
Yeah. Boom, done. It's easy. There's no one should in an ideal world, in the utopia or whatever, no one would get upset about that because that just makes total sense.
We're getting there. It's slow.
Yeah.
Probably another generation will be.
There's another kids show that just.
Well, now all of them have it because, who cares?
Yeah, it's standard. It finally became a standard thing.
There are gay couples. They exist.
Or it almost became a standard thing. It's kind of still in the token phase almost, where you're doing a show and you're like, oh, who's gonna be the gay character here, whatever.
Okay.
Have you seen?
Hopefully we'll get to the point where it's kind of more of a standard thing. We're kind of almost at that point now. It's still this weird mix.
There's a show on Netflix called Kipo. It's animated.
Kipo?
Yes. Okay. It's animated and it's like apocalyptic, and there's a bunch of like humanoid animals.
My favorite.
They're like regular animals, but like they talk.
I saw an ad for this? Some stupid show I saw an ad for was this lamb. It's like a child. Is it that show, or am I thinking of a different? No, that's not animated. That's a live action one. Yeah, no, I don't know what that is.
You big dummy.
But no, it's there's a character in there. He's black. He's the only I wouldn't say only black character because you find out that the main character is black, but she's pink.
Find out? What do you mean find out?
She's pink because she's.
She's black coded.
No.
No, she's black.
Okay. She's never been exposed to sunlight because she lives underground because all of the animals above ground are hostile.
Gotcha.
But her dad, so the generation before her. Lived above ground, so all this stuff
this is actually a really interesting premise for a show.
Yeah, it's really. I watched the first couple of episodes, and it's really good. Sweet. For what it is, it's
I'll have to look into
it. Gets really deep, really fast too.
Sure.
But yeah, the second other black character is also gay, and the way they go about talking about it is like. I would not expect it from one, a Netflix show, two, what's supposed to be technically kid show, but it's like you would see it on Toonami. So
gotcha.
Yeah,
interesting.
Or right at the end of Cartoon Network, where it's like, okay, kids, this is the last show you're allowed to watch before it gets too adult. But it's very interesting. I would give it a watch. I need to finish it myself.
All right. But yeah, with all that said, it will be sad to see Arthur go. That was definitely one of the biggest shows that I grew up with as a child. Haven't seen it in a lot of years. But
remember when Baxter had a travel show?
Yes. Yes.
Let's unlock some memories.
So bizarre.
I kind of like that more.
It was like a fever
Arthur
dream
show.
almost. I was like, who came up with this?
Yeah, because you'd be watching Arthur, and then it's just on, but you're not paying attention. It's just like, oh yeah, Baxter.
It would
Where
be
is Arthur today? I mean, where's Baxter today?
It's my first like exposure to like extended universe type things where it's like, you know, more characters in shows where it's like
The Arthur cinematic universe.
Right.
yeah, it's like that walk so an MCU could run, you know.
PBS did it first.
Yeah.
Doesn't Disney own PBS though?
No, that's
Oh,
the
no?
public broadcasting
Yeah,
service.
yeah.
No one owns. Everyone owns it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because remember, those shows are only possible because of viewers like you.
Yes. And Disney. No, I'm just
You know
Yeah, Disney
what?
watches it.
You know
They
what?
make
Fun?
large
You put
donations.
Disney with that one. They were talking about the taxpayers.
Yes,
Viewers
they
like
were.
you were the
The taxpayers, exactly. 'Cause
Man.
we run this show. Well, not us, not the kids watching it.
Right? No, we did.
Yes.
Because if you called in,
I always
and you
felt so
paid,
empowered,
Like
yeah.
$30, you could get your birthday on the scroll thing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
You
no,
remember that?
I do remember
Well,
that.
See,
I remember
see
seeing
more
this
good
scroll.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yes.
We're just
Oh,
unlocking
my
memories right now. If we're talking about PBS, you guys remember Cyber Chase?
Cyber Chase was
Chase
the best.
That was the best show.
Beaten hacker at his game.
Unlocking memories.
It was so good. There were a couple of episodes where, like, I really like the plot ones. A lot of like just like episodic adventures, or
Yeah.
they're like plot focused ones, and those like I was like, this is so cool.
They were always so
So neat.
serious. Every episode, there was
That was
always
a
a
yeah.
transition. Was just like, "Da-da-da-da," like calm down. It's math.
It's it was always so funny because like as a kid, you know, everyone has like high pitched voices. So I remember them kind of having like deeper pitched voices or whatever. I'm used to high pitch.
Was my favorite voice.
Then I went back and like rewatched some like little scenes from it recently, and I was like, everyone's voice was like super high pitched. I don't know why I ever thought these were like lower voices.
Well, it was
Because they were
Hacker was the guy. He was Doc Brown from
What?
the Back to the
Yeah.
Future. Yeah, you didn't
Was
know
he?
that?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can.
Huh.
He does this. It's the same voice.
And
He
then
does the same. He's basically doing the character.
I've
just
not watched it in
animated.
so long. That is so cool.
and the
Yeah.
little bird guy wasn't that Gilbert Godfrey?
That one I didn't know.
I think that was Gilbert Godfrey. Whatever, but
There
yeah.
was so many great. I really
was a
like
great
that.
TV
Like
show.
that whole.
Yeah.
Oh no!
was
You
great
know
one.
what? Yes, because that was how he got the Aladdin thing.
The Aladdin was way before that.
Was it?
Yes,
Really?
Cyber Chase is still on.
Is it?
No, it's not.
It,
Are there
yeah,
new-
it was last time I looked.
Are there like new episodes
Yes.
going out still? Wow.
I believe so.
Wow.
Let's take a look. Let's postpone Bad Batch just a little bit
Yeah,
longer.
yeah. We'll just hold off on that.
Oh man.
Cyber Chase, 12 seasons. Oh, it ended in. Oh no, yeah, it's still going. Oh no, final episode May 8th, 2020.
Oh wow.
Wow.
It was on for
Wow.
18 years.
That is crazy. All of these kids shows are still going on.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna tell me.
Because the viewers like you.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you're probably gonna tell me next that the Rough Ruffman show is still going on.
No, that one
No.
unfortunately is not. But
I
like
do remember that show though.
yeah,
That one was good.
that one is. It was actually made to replace Zoom. I don't know if you guys remember like Zoom. Zoom was
Oh
like
my God!
Yeah.
Yes,
I remember
do
Zoom.
remember. I
Yeah.
do remember that whole.
It's
thing
like Zoom was
happening.
fading in popularity, so they had to end that show, but they wanted to keep like a game show vibe up. So they like made Fetch with
I
Ruffman
remember
as
that.
as
Oh my
as
God.
a replacement for Zoom.
Yeah.
PBS Kids is a fever dream.
What's
Yeah.
crazy about the Rough Ruffman
Such good
show?
shows. Yeah.
So a family friend of mine, me and him like grew up together, like the same age. He had a neighbor that like lived around the corner from him.
Mhm.
That neighbor was the girl from the first season that won.
Wow.
No way.
Yeah, I remember going.
Connections.
It was so. The way I
Oh,
figured it
man.
out too was because the last time I went over his house when he lived over there, she was like getting ready to go on a big trip, and was like, but it was like just her, and we were talking to her about it, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm not really allowed to talk about what it's like actually is, but
Wow.
it's a vacation." And she was like, "Yeah, it's supposed to be.
That
I
is
can
really
say
neat.
it's gonna be on TV. I just can't say what."
Wow.
So
That's
and
crazy.
then a year later, once they finish shooting
on-
the entire
Wow.
season and everything,
on
find
TV.
out. Oh my god!
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
and
really-
I found out that show, like every winter, they wouldn't say it in the show what they would actually get afterwards, but they would pay for like the first year of college for all the kids.
Oh wow.
I don't know. I don't know like 100% accurate because there's no way they could do that
'Cause
for
you want-
every
yeah.
single season because
Right.
it went on for a while.
I mean, no, there were only actually, I think there were only like only 5 or 6.
Well, there was
seasons of
a-
Fetch with the Ruffman.
There was the spin-off thing of it where it was basically the same show with still Ruffman, but it was like he had like a sidekick or something.
Oh, okay.
But they would do like different benefits for the kids that would go home early or whatever. The ones that would last all the way to the end would be like some really big crazy reward. Usually it was just like Disneyland or Disney World vacation.
Yeah. I really
but
like
the first girl did get she had her first year of college paid for it.
That's awesome.
like Fetch with the Ruffman's Cyber Chase. Well, just like that because like a lot of the PBS Kids show were like, oh, here's like words and like spelling or
Between
whatever.
the lines.
Yeah, but they give it like
Between
there was stuff
the
like that with the
lines.
Ruffman Cyber Chase. Even Between the Lines, they weren't like just those basic shows. They were more advanced stuff because Between the Lines
Yeah.
was like teaching you basically how to read,
Yeah,
and not just
and it
like
was
what
more-
words meant and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It was like
Cliffhanger.
It was-
yes, cliffhanger, hanging from a cliff. That's why they call him cliffhanger. That was
my
so
God.
good. I love that,
That
so
show
much.
is where I get most of my sense of humor. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, Between the Lines was
It was-
incredible.
I also
The
really
show was
liked.
elite.
Yes.
That was just a good show.
I really liked how they touched on like serious subjects too.
Yeah.
Like, there's 1 or 2 episodes about racism.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
It's like they don't because they're animals.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't really like
Yeah.
say it's right, but like if you read between the lines,
Between the lines, yeah.
Exactly.
you can see that it's they're touching
Yeah.
on those heavier subjects, but they're making
Yeah.
it make sense to kids.
Mhm.
And I really
Yeah.
that was one of the things I really liked.
Yeah, it was
about
like
show.
that one episode of like Sesame Street or whatever, where there's like, oh, a monster has a different color fur and
Yeah.
that whatever, and you're like, oh, I see what you're doing with this.
They did
here.
another one like that with the more recent Sesame Street.
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw
yeah?
that.
So,
That show's been on since the 70s. It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's so many.
There's so many.
There's so many things that have
Oh my
changed
god.
throughout.
The last tangent we go on before Bad Batch.
Oh my God.
Last tangent,
That's
sure,
true.
sure, Wally.
There's
No,
gonna be a
I
tangent
earlier
someday.
I saw really early Muppets projects, and they're like commercials for like these like real local brands in Baltimore because that's where it got started.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
There's this one. There's this guy was like, he had like this loaf of bread. Hey, do you like this bread brand? And he said, do you like eating? The guy's like, yeah. Do you like bread? Yeah. Do you like this brand? He's like, nah. And then he shoots him. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Like, what the hell is going on?
Speaking of the Muppets, though.
Oh god.
Yeah.
More tangents.
Speaking
Yeah.
of the Muppets, Gonzo has officially come out as non-binary.
I remember seeing
Oh.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how big of a thing that is for y'all, but
The internet has not made a fuss of it yet, so.
I
No,
honestly am surprised it hasn't, just because Gonzo he's one of the most iconic. Well, I guess they are the. One of the
these
most-
iconic puppets.
Yeah, he's for sure my favorite.
I love Gonzo.
For
My
sure.
favorite's Fozzie.
That makes sense.
It does for me. It really makes
a lot of
sense.
I unfortunately
Waka waka.
never watched that much of the Muppets as a child, so I
It's
know
not
like
my guy.
Kermit
It's everybody's
and
favorite,
the
basically.
Miss Piggy, I think is her name.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a
Cool.
pig. It's a miss.
Yes.
Miss Piggy. Yes. Good job.
Yes.
Good.
But
That's and there's
that makes total sense for Gonzo. Like,
Yeah, I mean they already did a thing where he was supposed to be like bisexual or something, or like they did something with that
Mhm.
a while ago, and now they're just doing it with his sexuality too.
cool.
And I mean in his
Or
movie,
gender?
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be non-binary. Yeah.
Yes. That's yes.
Cool.
I'm sorry.
That makes sense
Internet.
for them.
Please do not cancel our show. We just got to 300.
We corrected it. We're good. We're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But no, that makes sense for Gonzo.
But I remember in the first movie, there was like something about, he was talking about like his nose being his penis.
I do remember that.
But it was also,
It's like a little. Yeah,
Wait,
like
is
a
this
joke.
like canon with that? Like
I don't know
like
if
the character themselves?
like
or...
there was a joke about it.
Oh,
And it
okay.
was like a running joke.
Okay.
Made a couple of times in the movie.
the new Muppets?
No,
Interesting.
like the,
Oh, the
it was
original
old-
one.
No,
Okay.
not even the Muppets movie. It was the Gonzo movie.
Oh,
Where
okay. Yeah,
I think it's like his.
There was a
origin story.
Gonzo movie.
There was a
I think
couple.
so.
There's
There's so many Muppet movies. That
Yeah, I
show
remember
things.
seeing
Yeah.
They're all on. Most of, if
On
not
Disney
all
Plus.
of them, are all on Disney Plus.
I know the show is.
Yeah.
Which I've watched a bunch. It was a little racist.
Gotta
be honest. They have a little warning at the beginning of an episode that's racist.
Oh,
There's some
really?
racist things in here. Like, be careful. And they're like, oh, okay.
So yeah.
Anyway,
I guess I'll have to.
Speaking
go
of Disney
from,
Plus,
I guess I'll have to go from Gonzo to referring to them as a they. Shouldn't it be too hard for me because I never refer to Gonzo generally. But yeah, cool.
and you can watch it on Disney Plus. Well, you know what else you can watch on Disney Plus? The Bad Batch. So let's talk Bad Batch. We got 3 episodes to go through. We're gonna go through them pretty quickly.
We should talk about other shows still. What other shows? There's a great Marvel. Okay. Let's
we got 3 episodes.
Dive into Star Wars. Bad Batch, Star Wars.
There's 3 episodes.
3 episodes.
We're gonna go through. We're not really gonna touch on the second one because there's not much to talk about. The second one, we're gonna touch on it.
Yeah, touch on it some.
I can't even remember.
The first one.
Exactly.
Let's go through these in order here. The first one
rounded out the.
Yes, the
Ryloth.
arc. Yeah, the Ryloth arc.
Rescue on Ryloth was the name.
Because Hera radioed Omega.
Which we predicted, by the way.
Yes.
Did we?
We did.
Nice. Go us.
Yes.
And then
I think you did it.
Oh, yeah?
You or RJ. It wasn't me.
I think it was
I
you.
don't remember. That was like 4 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a while
3
ago.
weeks ago.
Oh yeah, 3 weeks ago.
Where'd 5 weeks go, bro? So then Omega's like, let's go help. And the clones are like, sounds good.
We're at an hour and a half.
We're at
an hour 5.
Well, no.
Is it an hour and a half or
Hunter was skeptic. I think they should change Hunter's name to Skeptic.
Yeah.
Because he just is never on board with anything.
I really liked his character first. I'm starting to.
He's well. After the 3rd episode, may not be a problem anymore.
Let's not
let's not get there yet.
By the way, spoilers.
Spoilers, yes.
But the Rescue on Ryloth episode was something.
I enjoyed it. That was a nice little arc.
I honestly can't remember too much about it.
It was filler. There's not.
The second episode we're going to talk about was filler. That episode it had an arc because it was an arc.
My prediction did come true about it being necessary for Hera to take off and land a ship.
You're right.
I predicted that. I think I predicted it.
Yeah.
It's just in
you
my
pretty
mind.
much predicted this entire freaking episode.
Yes.
I mean, it wasn't hard.
No.
They made it kind of.
This is a kid's show.
Yeah.
So, still interesting.
Remember, everyone, Star Wars was originally made for children.
I liked the Omega Hera team up there. That was really
that was
cool.
I did enjoy that.
That was really cool. That's really all I can remember.
By the way, we'll just go off these minutes. By the way, Orange Free Top Alive. That book still canon.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Damn it.
I was gonna say.
Yes. Attempted assassination was hammered several times.
Damn you, Lords of the Sith.
Although,
not that anyone can see that.
It's what they say. He was recovering.
It's really
from
funny.
His thing.
It's so funny that they just shot him and expecting him to just cooperate. So I know he will. Yeah. But it's so funny that they just point blank shot him and
I'm sure what it was just a tranquilizer bolt, because they have those where it looks like a regular bullet.
Really?
Yeah. At least with different types of snipers.
I don't know. I mean, if I was that clone, I'd just shot him. He was kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Warren Fritas, I hate him so much.
I'd never every time I see him. He was in Clone Wars a couple of times.
I'm kidding.
Anyway, so
he's a large Twi'lek.
The
only one we've ever seen that's that. Well, it's because Ryloth has issues.
Yeah,
and he lives on Coruscant.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it was kind of a nice build up to Rebels. We know more of how things started now.
That was a backdoor pilot to show we already have.
Yes, kind of indirectly.
I thought it was one of the best episodes we had so far. I enjoyed it a lot.
Rescue on Ryloth?
Yeah.
I mean, I like the second one a little more.
The first one or the second
one?
Which one? The one that came after that one?
Yes.
Oh wow, he did not like that.
Only because of the. What was it?
The bat things. Yeah, yes. The bat things.
I was hoping for the spider things from.
That's what I thought it was going to be too.
Because it looked like a giant spider cave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
And for some reason, I thought it was going to be the Geonosians. For some reason, I didn't know what planet they were on.
They were wiped out, almost completely.
Let's see. That first episode felt like a lot more like the Clone Wars, where the one before it felt a lot more like Rebels.
Yeah.
I can.
I kind of like how they're doing that though, because that's happened a couple of times with the episodes.
Oh wow! I predicted something.
Oh yeah.
It says it seems as though the arc for the last couple episodes is going to be Crosshair hunting down the Bad Batch. Last episode will have a big battle between them. I would imagine one of the Bad Batch will die. It seems as though that's where it's going.
Rest in peace, Hunter. Spoiler alert.
Well, he's not dead yet. Calm down.
Now that we know, no, it's actually just as it cut away in the last episode. It was...
No, this only relates. Where were some of my keys in my pocket? Anyway, this only relates to the first episode we're talking about. But there's a lot of talk on Star Wars TikTok at the time when it had come to the last few episodes of that show. That there were too many characters we already knew. So, is the amount of cameos in this show ruining the show at all?
I don't believe so. I really think
neither.
that it is a good balance where the cameos aren't overwhelming things.
I kind of like it,
Yeah.
especially with the third episode. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Trying to think.
Yes,
Gregor.
I think. Yeah.
Oh, Gregor.
Yeah.
Gregor. Yeah. I like that. That was cool too.
Is like I think way back just doing cameos and stuff, and like other characters pulling them in is working very well because it never ends up being the thing where like in sitcoms you have a famous actor walk through, they're like hello, and like it pause for like the applauding, the clapping, applause, whatever.
Speaking of Gregor, at first I thought I was really excited for like a quick second because they were talking about commandos. And I started thinking about the Star Wars Clone Commando video game where one of the clones like sacrifices himself, kind of the same way Gregor does in the Clone Wars. And I was thinking they were like giving an official answer to what happened in the game far long ago. Because that game was like one of the best Star Wars games I've ever played.
I don't think that's canon anymore. So I mean,
yeah, no, it's not. But if it had been that, it would at least be like a little like add-on. Like at least this game itself, it's not necessarily canon, but this is.
I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's just like a callback to it.
Right. Yeah.
But back to the first episode here, it was a solid episode. I think everyone thinks.
Yeah.
That
I enjoyed it a lot
for the most part. Any other notes about this episode? They save the day in the end somehow.
Politics make me.
No. I'm saying in like this episode they save the day.
Yeah.
In the very end somehow. I don't remember how. I don't remember exactly how it ends.
The one clone who we weren't sure if his inhibitor chip was still working, he sacrificed himself and remember he let.
He died?
No, he died.
No.
He sacrificed his position. I guess he got arrested.
Yeah, I do remember that now. You
the one that all the
speech and got a couple of them literally a couple of them to defect, and they were like, okay,
and
arrest
It's that clone that all the girls were sending for on Star Wars TikTok.
I forgot about that. Do we know, or is there any confirmed anything or whatever how he was able to resist the inhibitor chip? Is it just his inhibitor chip never was as active, or is it they're decaying now, or what?
I think it maybe has to do with the we were talking about last time with how long it's been since he since it's been activated, and also his position. He might be a Generation 1 like Rex.
Okay, so you think that it might be if it is that second one where it's activated, it's just starting to decay now. It's decaying at different rates in them.
Yeah.
So at some point all the clones will be free.
That's where I was going to go. Maybe we'll see that decay in Crosshair in the next couple episodes, and he'll defect to the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Instead of a showdown, maybe they'll do that.
I don't know how I would feel about that though, because the way they built up Crosshair to just be, he was already having his questionable doubts in the first place, and he's always been that really edgy character.
And it's what's him and what's the inhibitor chip here? Because the inhibitor chip pushed things along, but what would Crosshair have done if the inhibitor chip was out of him? Where would his allegiance have been?
If they had just given him a verbal order, hey, kill the Jedi, he would have been
on board for that. Maybe he'd be okay.
Just full of orders.
Yeah. I don't know. But
so second episode.
Episode 2, they get back. Sid's gone. The bar is active, which doesn't really show great stuff for how Sid owns a bar. Yeah,
just not running very well at all.
No.
But it's some other dude, and then he kind of implies, oh, Sid's gone, and they're oh, Sid's probably dead, and then she's not dead.
I thought that.
Of course she's not dead. She can't be. She's like one of the only characters.
You can't kill the main character.
But then,
yeah, she's one of the only good ones.
But then they come up with this plan that I didn't think was
Sid a
that
lot.
smart. I kind of thought their plan was dumb to just take the spice and hope they don't get implicated in like taking. Because like Sid's entire plan was like, let's take this, and then whoever the alien-looking dudes, they're all aliens, but whatever.
The pikes.
Pikes, yeah.
The pikes and their spice.
The pikes.
That sounds like a children's book.
The pikes would come, see that their spice was gone, blame this other dude, and like
The guy
kill him or whatever.
Basically.
Give me my.
But then I like how they went and took the spice, and the pikes came, and the guy was like, "Oh, Sid took it," and they're like, "Okay, let's go get Sid." And like I was like, "Why did Sid think this plan would work? Why do you think that Sid?" They went and had this conversation. Because they just walk into the bar, and then he's like, "Yeah, she took my spice," and they're like, "Okay, give us back our spice, or we're gonna kill you."
Oh,
and it's like, I guess there goes the plan.
And then they went and got the spice.
Yeah, so it's like,
spice.
what was the point of that? What was the point of that?
Yeah, the episode kind of like.
I think it was literally just.
There's no displacement in this episode.
I think it was
just
just like a little like backdoor thing to the thing those two sisters dealt with the pikes.
Oh,
yeah, also back in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, season 7 or whatever.
Yeah, they were in this show too.
Yeah, the pikes were also here.
It was like the second episode of the Bad Batch.
The
second or
something
third.
sisters, Martez sisters.
Yeah,
Martez
something like that.
People hate them.
I like them. I don't like the older sister just because she's so stereotypically bitchy.
They're alright characters.
It's gross.
I didn't like the arc in the Clone Wars that they were introduced in, but I like them as characters.
I don't know. Them meeting Ahsoka I thought was really that episode itself. I thought was really good.
Yeah, some of the arc was kind of just odd, but
yeah.
It was still neat.
It was filler.
It was a good episode. Yeah, that was a true filler episode.
Was,
I haven't felt like there's been too many filler episodes, which, if you really think about it, the show is filler.
Yeah.
That's like what this does. It fills in information. But this episode especially.
This next episode we're going to talk about, which I'm really excited because that actually got into some good stuff.
Alright, so episode 3.
Wait, any more notes about episode 2 or the second episode?
You talked about the bug things.
Oh yeah, the bats or whatever.
The bats.
Birds.
The birds and the bats.
Yeah. Those in particular were. I was disappointed to not see the spider thing, but I think the way that it was played with the conflict of the episode, it worked.
Yeah. I do absolutely
hate sense for the cave, but it was also it made it easier for getaway at the end.
Yeah. I really, really don't like the trope of like, oh, we're going to a cave, don't make noise, because like someone is going to make noise and something's going to happen.
Of course, it was Wrecker.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be named Wrecker. It didn't wreck shit.
Anyway, the next episode, they're on their way to a nondescript mission.
Wrecker gets a break.
Oh yeah, they're just chilling in space.
Yeah. As they always seem to be returning from a nondescript mission or on their way to a nondescript
mission.
No, they said they were directly in the middle of a mission from Sid.
Yeah. No, they said they were on their.
Well, yeah, on their way in the middle of. Right. They're kind of the same thing.
It was like
because when you're on your way somewhere, you're doing that thing.
Yeah, but they're not like actively doing that thing. Though.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
They're on their way to a nondescript location to do a nondescript assignment, and so then they get a call from
Rex,
and then they're having this whole debate of like, oh, do we go? Because Rex was like, go and rescue this guy, and they're like,
stay or should I go?
First, got to back up a little bit. We're gonna talk about why Rex is calling him.
Tiny bit.
The first.
Oh yeah, because there's the whole opening scene.
Right.
That I almost forgot about.
Where we find out later that it's Grigor, but he's. Yeah. How do you say his name? Gregor? Okay. The way he said it in his voice is just so weird. But him running away, getting chased by those like dog alien things, and then putting down the distress beacon that nobody sees. Yeah. They all run by them.
That's fine.
The bad guys are dumb.
It's beeping.
The bad guys are dumb.
You know what's funny about this episode though?
What?
It completely explains why the stormtroopers are so bad.
Yes, 100%. They just straight up told them.
Yeah.
They straight up told them, oh, the stormtroopers are bad because I didn't teach them everything.
Right.
That was really funny.
That was really good.
Because it's one of this episode. I want to touch on it a lot here because it's talked about early on where it's kind of hinted getting just conscripting a military instead would be cheaper, and the Kaminoans were like, well, they're not going to be trained as well.
Yeah.
And like, that's fine. It'll be cheaper. We'll have more of them. Whatever.
And they'll obey us to die.
Yeah. There's the whole endless supply thing is really what was getting them because the cost of reproducing those clones was starting to.
I don't know because they didn't have the DNA.
And this was like a really great way of continuing that and showing that in detail. They absolutely love the thing where it's like, oh yeah, I didn't train them well. I just
I didn't teach them everything I know.
I wouldn't be very smart, now would it?
And the thing about how just the whole time he was like, yeah, these are just bad. They're just not good at it.
And then the whole...
So it was just so annoying. I really loved how distinct his voice was, but after hearing it talk for too long,
he sounds like an old man already.
Yeah, I know. It was really funny.
I mean, at this point in the story, hasn't he already kind of lost his mind?
Oh, no, because that was
on the salt planet.
No, it was. There was one of the lines or whatever he said where he was like, "Oh yeah, I was in an explosion."
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh,
that was from when he sacrificed himself."
That makes sense now.
Yeah, remember because they found him and that horrible arc was just the droids and that one annoying tiny character.
I don't remember that stuff.
Good, okay. You don't need to remember that. But that's how they got Gregor because he was on that salt planet. He's like, yeah, I've just been here. Chilling.
He didn't remember who
I
he
do
was.
not remember that.
Yeah, he didn't remember who he didn't remember he was a clone trooper.
He was just chilling like a regular person.
He's like, yeah, I got this armor in my closet. I don't know what it is.
I really don't.
That's good. Don't watch it again. Okay. Yeah, it's one of those Clone Wars arcs you watch once and then never again.
I read the Wikipedia of the episode.
Oh, yeah, that's all you need. It's so bad. Oh my god, watching those episodes, they were 20 minutes each, but it felt like at least an hour each. Because it's just robots walking on salt with nothing for miles.
It's a really interesting one.
But anyway,
great episode.
Awesome episode.
Very fun.
They come in, they're debating doing the rescue or not. Hunter is kind of like, I don't know, but I guess we can.
I'm telling you, just change his name to Skeptic.
Yep.
He doesn't seem confident at all in any of the plans.
It did show him hunting some here because he was
a little bit,
yeah, for the first time in a while.
He picked up a twig and was like, "He's gone."
He's gone. He got dragged that way.
Yeah. But
yes, I see.
I feel like
they find the base. They find the replacement for Kamino here. I'll call it, even though it's not the same way where it's not the main base, but it's here's where they're being trained now instead of being trained on Kamino.
Because it's supposed to be
we forgot Gregor was trying to escape. We forgot to include that. That's why he has to be rescued.
Yes.
He tried to escape, and they're like, "Ha! Oh, you ain't going anywhere."
They caught him
at the beginning,
And then so they put him in the jail cell. Rex calls him, and then whatever.
Yeah.
We're now okay.
Because he was probably trying to rendezvous with Rex. Mm-hmm. He put the beacon down. Rex couldn't rendezvous with him, so he sent the Bad Batch. The Bad Batch come in. They're like, "Oh, well, there's a lot of clones here." Right. And then, oh no, our clone codes don't work. And oh no,
and then they shot him, and the helmet fell off or something, or they took the helmet off.
Yeah,
and wait a second, this is
I feel like they would have. I don't know, because the way Gregor was talking, it's yeah, of course they're not clones now.
Dumbass.
But,
I'm the only clone here.
Oh yeah,
for you guys.
There was one other clone there, but I don't know who it was. They didn't take the helmet off.
But when Tech entered the code or whatever, and then it didn't work. Gregor of course it didn't work. Why do you think that would work? And it's okay, but you let him type in the code. Why would you not stop him before he typed it in if you knew?
Oh no, that wasn't a clone. I know which one you're talking about.
The one as they jumped off into the helicopter into their ship. It sounded like a clone. Doesn't matter.
Wait.
Talking about the one where they're waiting for the ship and one of the dudes charged up and then they were finally pushing him in the middle and all the other clones shot.
Yeah.
Or stormtroopers, I guess.
Shot him. That was a stormtrooper.
Because that was a funny scene. This one guy charges forward and he gets beat up and then he just gets shot by his allies.
Oh yeah.
I just think it's hilarious that Gregor got shot twice in the chest, point blank, might I add. Yeah. Literally from this distance.
Me to you.
And for
our audio listeners, that's about 5 feet.
Not even.
No.
I wouldn't even say 5.
That's
They'll-
4
it-
feet.
A
Yeah,
yard.
4 feet. Hold on, let me lay down. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, but he was just like, yeah, this is fine.
It's like I've exploded. It's okay.
I was
Yeah,
literally dead.
Actually, I believe how you phrased it is, I have exploded. I think this is his exact phrasing too.
I've gotten exploded before.
funny, yeah.
I've done the explosions.
But yeah, it was a nice episode. I really liked the look into just the transition from clones to the horribly inaccurate and bad at planning stormtroopers.
Yeah. It filled in a lot of gaps and holes and stuff, and how this army is starting to grow a little bit and replacing the clones.
A little bit. It's growing very
And like their
fast.
armor, I like how their armor is. It's not stormtrooper armor yet, but it's slowly changing.
It looks a lot like the ARC Trooper armor from the Jedi Fallen Order game.
Yeah, it does.
When he's on, what is it, Kashyyyk? And he's going through that base. It looks a lot like those armor.
Sweet.
So I'm thinking all of that is like not at the same time, obviously, because it's Jedi Fallen Order. Is like,
I don't know when that takes place in the Star Wars canon. I think it's
because
is it during Rebels or before Rebels?
It's like right before Rebels because it's only, I think Cal he's not even 20 yet in the game. He's like 18 or 19, I think.
Oh, okay.
When it's like when you're like playing as him,
right.
But it starts when he's a Padawan child, which is like he could be as young as 6 years old at that point.
Right.
So.
All right. So before we get to our Marvel thing,
we have the end of like the episode, right?
Yeah,
we haven't got it.
that.
Yeah. I was about to say we're
at hour 34 in.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah.
Almost at the very end. Because what happens after that is
24.
like the big thing where they all try to escape, and they're almost there, but they're being shot at and all this stuff. Typical Bad Batch things.
Yes.
But Hunter does the thing that has happened successfully so many other times in a bunch of shows. I almost think it's a trope. I just kind of assumed it would work in this one, where he jumps off, tries to jump into the ship when it's like tilted, but he misses. He kind of tries to grab the stairs and he can't. And I was like, oh shoot, he's dead.
Oh shoot, he's dead.
He fell for a ways.
Guns?
He did.
Does he die by getting shot? No. Does he die by really anything else? No.
It was a rock.
Yeah, I mean, he hit several trees and cliffs and rocks.
Yeah. I mean, he slows himself down a couple of times.
Yeah, it was almost like a cartoon,
his
though.
vibronet.
Yeah.
It was almost like a cartoon. We're like
Dum, dum, dum,
yeah, we're like
dum,
Tom
dum.
or whatever falls down. But yeah, he gets there, and he's surprisingly he's wounded, but not as wounded as I was assumed someone would be from falling from that height, hitting that much stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, you have Omega, who's like, "We're going back for you," and he's like, "No,
Actually, don't.
Actually, I'm fine.
Actually, you go and don't die."
Like he was like, "Oh, I'll escape. I'll find a way out." And Omega was like, "No, you won't."
And we saw the preliminaries ships to the TIE fighters.
Yes,
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Which they're in that book as well.
I thought those were just the A-wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, those weren't TIE fighters. There's
No,
another.
the preliminary to the TIE fighters.
Yeah.
A-wings.
Oh,
Well, the A-wings were.
They're in this.
I mean,
Well,
they're,
no, I'm
really
saying
early in
the
this.
A-wings were from the Republic times.
Were they?
Yeah,
Hold on.
those were the clone ships. Those were like the clone
How did I read this?
starfighter, like the basic clone starfighter.
anyway, but while you're looking for that or whatever, Hunter gets arrested or whatever, not shot on sight, which is good for the main characters all surviving.
Yeah. Well, they want to turn.
They're
him.
V-wings.
Yeah.
V-wings.
V-wings.
Okay.
Which is the preliminary to a TIE fighter.
Okay.
But
that happens pretty early on.
so he's being held in the same cell block or whatever as what was that dude's name?
Gregor.
Yeah, and then Crosshair's there from nowhere, and Crosshair's like, "I wish I had all of you, but I have you."
And then it went to black, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And
that was pretty much it.
He's alive still, as far as we know.
As far as
Right.
But they do
see.
want to. They want to. The whole point of them chasing after the clones is to try to capture them and turn them because they would be useful to the Empire. I mean, that would be scary as hell.
So
Especially records.
Crosshair alone is scary as hell.
Yeah.
So here's what we're going to find out next week is if next week we'll get the next step to this episode, whatever,
Right.
or it'll just be like a filler episodes. They don't
Well,
acknowledge any of this.
We have 2 more
They go
episodes.
I was gonna say this is
two
only
more?
episode 14.
We have
Okay.
2 more episodes.
So this,
Do
I
you think we'll
they
have a
might-
2-part season finale then?
If we
Because I know
do-
with
3-part, I guess, because I would imagine the
Rebels.
last one.
Well, but I know with Rebels, a lot of seasons
Season
would like end with like part 1 and then
Oh
part
no, yes,
2.
both season 1 and 2, I know for sure. I
Yeah.
don't really remember.
So,
3.
do you think this next episode title will end in a part 1?
No.
Or do you think it'll be like a standalone?
No, I think it'll be a
stuff?
standalone name.
All right,
But it'll be
Yeah.
a part of this arc.
All right.
Yeah.
all right.
And then it'll carry over to the third.
It'll go back to
the
like,
last episode.
It'll go back to like the Clone Wars vibe then of how the
Yeah.
episodes were all just kind of arcs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna end. This could be a 3-episode arc,
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
and we'll end it with. I feel like someone from the Bad Batch is gonna die.
If
It'll
I don't
be
know.
Omega. I'm locking my guess
Oh
down.
God, no!
if one of them has to die, I want Tech to die.
Oh, I love Tech.
Just
Oh.
I like him. It's just
I can
he's
relate to
just
Tech because I'm a nerd.
he's teaching Omega how to do all the stuff,
That's true.
so
I
it
have
would
a-
make sense.
I have a friend I was talking to about the Bad Batch. They cannot stand Tech. They're like, Tech is my least favorite
Really?
character by far. I want him to die.
I
And
love
I was
Tech.
like, how dare you?
love
Tech is my
Tech.
favorite.
He's not. He's not.
I mean, he's not like.
I feel like-
I mean, they're all great, but I really like Tech's like dry,
Me too.
just
He
whatever.
is quite hilarious. I do like that about
I feel
him.
like the fan base as a whole would collapse if Wrecker was the one who dies. Mostly because of his relationship with Omega.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's like a big brother.
Yeah.
He's like I mean, they're all literally siblings,
Yes.
but
I
he's
mean,
like
like,
directly.
Yeah, because you have like Hunter's kind of like the dad character, or like the father figure to Omega, and then you have like
Tech's the weird brother.
yeah, and then you have like Wrecker's like the brother relationship. Tech is kind of like I don't know, just Tech.
Tech's
He's like the uncle you don't see very often, but
Yeah.
every time you do see him, he teaches you something cool.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then Echo is the distant
I've-
cousin that was
truly very.
Yeah.
Does he speak at all in most episodes?
Echo?
more
Echo,
than
yeah,
Wally?
yeah.
Yeah, he
Because I
speaks.
almost feel like he
yeah,
never
every-
talks.
What? No, he
Every
speaks
episode.
like yeah.
He
His
spoke
last
a
episode,
lot in
yeah,
his last-
yeah,
last one,
he was
too.
very talkative.
Okay, you have to give
He's
me
the one that
okay, you
convinced-
have to give me some leeway. I watched this at 6 in the morning.
Stop doing that.
I can't. I leave for work at 7:30,
I in my defense, I watched.
and I don't
this
want to
last
get spoiled.
episode- I watched this last episode right before I came over, so
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like
I-
really.
Yeah.
I follow
fresh
enough
in your mind
people
then.
on the internet to where I'll get it spoiled. So
oh man,
I know.
okay,
It's
you
easy.
gotta stop doing that.
It's
bro.
easy. If you're
Don't do
not
it.
alert enough
I couldn't.
when
feel
you-
the
6
aliens.
in the morning.
when you first wake up and you still want to watch it early, then like logically you're not supposed to drive when you're not alert. So if you're driving, you're going to be alert, so you can watch it
While
while
you're
you're
driving?
driving because you're going to be the most alert. Then problem solved.
Ladies and gentlemen,
There's
please
no
do not
flaw.
watch Bad Batch and drive. But anyway, is that okay?
Yes,
the,
you
the
should
question
watch,
we always
you all right. You should watch more than just Bad Batch while
okay,
driving.
exactly. As we always do when we end talk about the Clone Wars, or not the Clone Wars, the Bad Batch. We still liking it?
Yes.
Yeah, so far, yeah.
So
I
far.
will say,
There's still 2 episodes to let me down at.
yeah, yes, and they could let me down very heavily if they don't
Alright,
do
fine.
this the right way because
I feel like
there's supposed to be another season, right?
I don't know. I have no idea. I
It's
hope
like
so.
confirmed-
It's
it's-
setting it up to be,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
unless they all get Rogue One.
That would suck.
Oh my
I would
god.
hate
Yeah.
Because it would sure that's this is just the one season, but why make it a whole show for this? Just make
Right.
Star Wars Clone Wars season 8.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much what this has been so far.
Right.
It's
Oh,
been
yeah.
it's been like a season, like a prequel season to Rebels, and also a sequel,
sequel to-
series
yeah.
to
Right.
the Clone Wars.
Right. And
Because it's literally right in the middle.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
well, and
why-
we're gonna get more
So
Rebel
far,
stuff with
I'm
Andor and
liking
Obi-Wan
that, yeah.
Kenobi. So like,
Yeah,
we're
but
already
that's-
getting more fill here. So like,
all that stuff is live action, so that's like
right, but
Yeah.
it's still more filler.
yeah.
To
But
where in this era,
I mean,
so
all
I
the
don't know,
stuff
we'll
at this
see.
point is filler. now.
everything but the movies is
Yeah.
filler technically,
Yeah.
Yes.
except the High Republic. It's adding
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
But
something
there-
completely
yeah. I
different.
mean, it's almost like anything that comes out that doesn't take place either before episode 1 or after episode 9 is just filler now.
It's exactly what it is. It's
Yeah.
filler. All
Yeah.
these books up here are filler.
It's oh man.
I just
Except,
want
like I
them,
said, the High Republic.
I kind of want them to do, like I like going backwards in time to the High Republic, but I kind of want to see some stuff after.
Dude,
know?
you have no idea how badly I want to see stuff. I need a book about Rey.
Right.
Just that one.
or
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
or
More
bring-
context
Or
around
something.
that.
Because because they go back and fill in stuff before. They have, as far as I know, they have no plans, books, movies, comics, and TV shows for after episode 9.
Please give me an animated series between 8 and 9. That would be just nice to get some more context. I feel like 8 and 9 is like
series for before 7.
Yeah.
It's called Resistance. It's okay. It's fine. Yeah. I like it.
I want something like Clone Wars type series between 8 and 9. I just want I don't know. I just want something.
The animated Kylo Ren would be awesome.
Yeah, they messed up the characters really bad in episode 9.
I
to
like
where
episode 9.
I'm
one of the few people who really love the sequels. So
like I feel like
I understand the criticism of it, but
I mean
episode 9 and 8 just don't match well together with how the characterization, in my opinion, between like they characterized them very specifically in episode 8, and then 9 just kind of threw all that out the window.
It didn't matter.
Which is
8's my favorite Star Wars movie.
It's like episode 7 and episode 9 work together. Episode 7 and episode 8 work together, but it's not. It's like going in two different directions.
There's a lot about you, Wally. I just want you to know.
No, I know. I love that movie.
But yeah, it's like not necessarily bad. It's just it was strange, and I just want them to tie those episodes
8, 9
together more with like an animated series or something. I don't know if they could do that well. I don't think that would work necessarily.
No, there's not. There's a book that ties them together. Resistance Reborn by Rebecca Roanhorse.
I heard something about that.
Anyway.
A while ago.
Anyway.
I think Poe Dameron, that comic book series right there.
Okay.
All right.
Marvel.
So before we get to the Marvel list,
there's a Marvel. Oh yeah, are we doing that now still?
Yes.
Wow, insane.
We didn't talk about the Phantom.
Yeah, we're doing that now, right?
The Phantom.
Yeah, we're doing it now.
We're gonna do that right now.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Okay. So do you want to announce it? You want to announce it?
Sure, we can both announce it at the same time.
I don't know what's happening.
What do you mean
at
at the same time? Just fucking say it.
I'll just count to 3.
Just say it.
Okay. So, hi everybody. We interrupt this ongoing podcast for another segment of this ongoing podcast.
An hour 35.
Yes. If you are unaware, which I don't know how you would.
We mentioned it every podcast.
Be aware. We mentioned
which
every podcast.
YouTube channels.
Oh yes. Are we going to the YouTube channel thing first? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
YouTube channels. Be prepared. In the coming
weeks.
2 weeks or so.
Okay.
Let's just say 2 weeks. It'll probably be about 2 weeks. RJ, you should be prepared for this.
Yeah, because you don't know what we're talking about.
No.
Yeah, I have no idea what's happening.
This is perfect.
This is news to me as well.
Yes. We've talked a lot, complimented other movies, criticized other movies.
Yes.
Wally and myself have created our own movie.
We have.
That will be releasing.
Oh, you did tell
August.
Me about this.
Yeah,
okay.
in August.
Yes.
It's called
Phantom.
Yep. And it's we basically so me and my friend we made a school project called The Phantom.
Yes.
Back in high school, and so we remade it.
Yes.
We remade it.
We have Phantom, which is based off of the Phantom.
Man,
it's the other way from the Suicide Squad.
Yes, exactly.
I didn't realize y'all already did all this.
Yes, we
yes.
did.
That's crazy.
I scored it yesterday. 2 days ago.
Yeah, I edited it for like a month. It was a lot, but got that done. It is now scored, and the finishing touches will be put on. Expect a trailer.
Yeah, soon. Just say soon.
Soon.
Expected trailer August 12th. I'm sticking to that date.
You're giving yourself a date.
Yes. Wait, is August 12th that Friday? Which day is
the 15th is
August
2 weeks
13th. Expect a trailer August 13th.
All right. So yeah, Phantom.
Cool.
All right.
Bam! August 14th. Maybe.
Exciting.
All right. So Marvel. All right. So this is gonna be quick.
Yes. Let's just really quick do like
top 3.
Our top 3 favorites.
Bottom
and like
3.
Yeah.
And then where we place the new shows.
Well, we're placing the new shows too. Okay. Like all the new shows.
No, just the 3. We don't have to go in depth. We've got in depth enough on those shows.
Okay.
All right. So I don't want.
Okay.
I already told you.
Okay.
All right.
We'll
let our guest RJ go first.
Oh wow, we're putting him on the spot.
That's fine.
All right, wait, let's do worst ones first.
The worst
ones
bottom
first.
3
Okay. Yes, bottom 3 first.
Okay. Bottom 3 first. Let me make sure I have these in mind here.
I'm gonna do like worst, second to worst, and then Okay. So at the very bottom, I have Thor: The Dark World.
All right.
That makes sense.
It's a terrible movie.
Bad movie.
It's boring.
Very boring. I did something else while I watched the movie.
It doesn't matter to the main story, like, at all.
What do you mean? It totally matters to the play in Thor 3.
Yes.
Thor Ragnarok.
I will appreciate
And
that
that
movie
is
for Thor
it.
Ragnarok.
That is the only
It
connection.
also introduced one of the Infinity Stones, but it's never mentioned in that
It's
context.
not even a stone.
Again.
It's a
Yeah.
mist.
That was the weirdest
It
part.
just the whole movie is upsetting
Yeah.
to me. I'm angry thinking about it, so I'm gonna move on to the next one.
Okay.
Right above that is Captain Marvel.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Okay.
gonna be very surprised. Where I
Brie,
have my
Brie
Captain
Larson
Marvel.
is good.
She is good.
She's not great.
Okay.
That movie was kind of a mess. I enjoyed it
Okay.
more than I enjoyed Thor: The Dark
Look
World.
at this. Valid criticisms from Captain Marvel. Good on you, sir.
But I will say there was a lot left to be desired.
Sure. Sure.
It just, I don't know. Something about it was just. I will also preface and say that I love all of the Marvel movies, regardless of how bad I say that they actually are.
Sure. Except Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah, no, that one I
You
wish
hate
they
that.
just didn't make it all. But yeah, so Captain Marvel is second to last.
Yeah, let's just
Just yeah,
decanonize
we
the
don't,
Dark
we
World.
don't need it.
All right, and then what's third to last?
Third to. Oh shit! Did I mess this up?
Scroll to the bottom. It's usually where you have the last
No,
movie.
I haven't. So I have the movies listed. In
Oh, and
chronological
then you
order.
went back and ranked them.
Yes.
Oh.
You have 27 movies, right?
24.
Oh, and then the 3 series.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't put them.
That's fine. Okay.
I'm gonna do that afterward. I'm
Okay.
gonna stick them in there where I believe.
Okay.
But so above Captain Marvel, it's 20. Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I love Iron Man.
So
Interesting.
I liked Iron Man 2 more than I liked Iron Man 3, only
Interesting.
because of the fight scenes in 2
Sure.
were more captivating, even though they were far and few between.
That's true. With
This-
with light whips,
I mean, having
that was cool.
What was
It was
his
a
name?
great
What is his name?
Danny. No, not Danny. Trejo.
No, the villain name. I can't remember it. Whiplash.
Whiplash.
Oh, yes.
Whiplash.
Yes,
I like Whiplash, but I was so hyped up off of the Whiplash from the animated Iron Man show from Nicktoons. That one was crazy. So I was hoping to see that in like live action. But I mean, that was Danny Trejo, right?
Danny Trejo. Yeah.
Yeah, that was him.
Yes,
right?
it's Danny Trejo.
Okay, but yeah, I love just him in general.
Yeah,
so
that's
that
fair.
he made the movie for me. To be
Okay.
honest.
I may have mentioned this last podcast or something, but and I probably did because this caught me off guard when I rewatched Iron Man 2. But Elon Musk is in Iron Man 2
Yeah.
playing himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is also another
That
reason
is-
why
it is-
I
it's-
like
it's-
it
yeah.
more than Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 was just the story in it. Just it seemed like a filler for Tony, and we already got him recognizing who he was supposed to be. Him doing that again just kind of seemed like overkill.
It was really funny.
Just for him to destroy all of his suits and for him to immediately go back and make more.
Yeah.
Like, what was the
that
point
was
of
kind
all
of an
that?
odd end.
I love that our lists are already this different because 2 of the movies you mentioned are my top 13.
That's
Wow.
hilarious.
All right, Brennan, you want to go? Or
Sure.
we're doing bottom
Where-
3, so
Okay.
and then we'll do Brendan.
Okay.
And then we'll go back and do the top 10, top
okay.
3.
Yeah, okay. So for my list, for the bottom
Did
ones,
you write it down?
this is all in my mind.
Oh, okay, cool.
This
Way
is-
smarter
this
than
is
I
all
am
in my mind.
because I wouldn't remember.
Yeah, your brain worked a lot better.
I could go with the easy ones like Thor: The Dark World, obviously bad, obviously horrible.
Yeah.
And Incredible Hulk, people often have that on the bottom of their lists
That's not
too
that bad.
because
I like that movie.
it's like this weird outlier where it's kind of canon. It's
Because
like
a different freaking actor.
it's like 30% canon or whatever.
I do personally really enjoy that Hulk.
I do too.
I like that Hulk better than I like the 2008 Hulk.
The 2003 Hulk.
2003 Hulk.
Yeah,
I'm
that
sorry.
was the 2008 Hulk.
Correct. I'm sorry.
So
But yes.
the way I did my list is kind of different because I basically ranked my worst ones I ranked my entire list about how much more or less I liked a movie than like the average person.
Well, yeah, that's what you're supposed to
liked it. No, but for Thor: The Dark World, I don't have that on the bottom because like I despise it just as equally as much as like everybody else does.
Oh, okay.
While if like Captain Marvel, if the average person likes Captain Marvel a lot and I dislike it a lot, it would be on like the very bottom of my list, even though I still like it more than Thor: The Dark World. So
what's on the bottom here? What's the bottom three?
I'm just gonna do two of them because they were the two that like I dislike the most like amount of you know.
Is this all in your head?
Or whatever, yeah. And because these are very much outliers, where you'll probably look at me after I say them, and you'll be like, "What are you talking about?"
All right, go ahead.
Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Wow.
And Avengers: Endgame.
What?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Spider-Man: Far From Home started off.
He's calling you to tell you you're wrong. I'm sorry. But
Spider-Man: Far From Home. I loved Spider-Man: Homecoming so much so that who knows, it may take up a space on my top three. And not say anything. No promises here.
Oh God, I love our list. They're all so different.
But Spider-Man: Far From Home. I like Spider-Man as a small scale neighborhood hero.
That's why you don't like him in Endgame.
okay.
Yeah, and then in Far From Home, it started off, that same vibe. He's on a trip. There's some small stuff where he's kind of like trying to be in the school trip and try to fight these like elemental beings who we later find out are fake. I like that part. That part is totally fine. The part where it kind of gets a little meh for me is when he's having to fly all these satellites that this evil Mysterio is trying to use to control the world or whatever, and it's like this giant, huge thing, and then at the very end,
that was a cool fight too.
It's just
like the scene.
One of my favorite fight scenes.
Yeah, it was super cool. I really liked a lot of the visuals, but just having to turn Spider-Man into like the only hero who can save the entire world, it's like I just wish they kept it small scale for Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Don't have him in this huge set, especially after just in Endgame he helped save the entire world. Yeah. Or in Infinity War he was drafted into that. Yeah. It's just for them to take it and make it so large scale that really took me out of the movie, and like I just can't rewatch it as much because it's like high stakes movies where it's these huge battles where a lot of stuff that happens. It's just it's difficult for me to rewatch it because generally the bigger the battles are, the less interesting the story is to me as a whole.
Right.
Like with a Widow here, super interesting stories, and then they start falling out of the sky.
Is that your bottom three or no?
What?
Is that in your bottom three?
No. No, because I'm just doing those two. Because my other one would probably be Thor: The Dark World, just because I don't like that one and I don't care that a lot of people don't like it. Yeah. Just wanted to harp on those. A lot of people really like them, and I like them too. But it's just, I really can't rewatch them.
Well, Endgame's so long.
Yeah, Endgame is long, and just the fact that it ends in this weird kind of like time travel thing, and then a huge battle immediately after. Mm-hmm. It's like I get why it was the finale and they're trying to wrap up all these arcs or whatever, but in doing so, it just makes it really hard for me to rewatch it. And the battle is it's so cluttered, and it's so chaotic.
I can get.
And it's and then they like undo everything, but then they really didn't do it in a more confusing way. Where I really liked it the first time, mm-hmm. Trying to go back and like rewatch it, I just can't. It's this weird kind of this outlier piece, mm-hmm. And also the fact that Captain Marvel. It's like I liked the first Captain Marvel movie. But it built her up to have a huge role in Avengers Endgame. Yeah. And then she had zero role in Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
And that drove me
like
crazy.
Not really even there.
Yeah.
You touched on that last episode.
Yeah. So those are because it's just the way that they did those scales. I really don't like those movies, and I almost never go back and like rewatch them yet. Mm-hmm. Maybe with Spider-Man 3, I'll go and rewatch Spider-Man 2 and have it be a trilogy. If it's a cohesive trilogy, mm-hmm. Perhaps. I'm hoping that they don't make Spider-Man 3 as a large scale in terms of danger.
You mean the multiverse?
Yeah. I'm hoping they make them a large scale in terms of like story, but I'm hoping that it's not like, oh, Spider-Man, save the day, or the multiverse is going to explode.
But see, that's what I don't want the multiverse, and you're right. Yeah. Because I don't want Spider-Man to be that large scale.
Yeah.
We're not ready for that.
Exactly.
We're not built Peter Parker up for that yet.
So those are two of my least favorite movies there, because a lot of people
so young too.
Yeah, a lot of people like hailed them as like really great, and I just differ in opinions so drastically on those. So I wanted to highlight those as my bottom two.
All right, so my bottom 3, and then Thor: The Dark World's your other third one.
Yeah.
So obviously, I have Thor:
The
Thor: The Dark World in my list. It's not my least favorite. My least favorite's Iron Man 2.
Understood.
Which is different from you, which is funny because, like I said, Iron Man's my 10th favorite, the third one.
Okay.
But so Iron Man 2, no one likes that movie, but a lot of people dislike that movie for multiple reasons.
Well, I've only got it at a couple of spots.
Okay, but I mean, most people, it's not. I don't really have to go into much detail about why I don't like it. I like watching it. I don't like the story of it. And Whiplash is cool, I guess. The fight scene was cool, but I don't know. And Black Widow just kind of felt kind of crammed in there. I don't know.
Yeah,
not the biggest fan
part
of
the movie is.
And they always play that on TV. That Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
But next one, Thor: The Dark World. Again, we've all explained this.
Sure.
It's not a good movie.
Yeah.
Next one's Thor. I really hate that movie.
Really?
I hate the original Thor movie.
I mean,
I really don't like it.
It kind of is weird because parts of it do have the same vibe as like Thor: The Dark World, where you have like the Frost Giants and like the Dark Elves or whatever, and it's kind of, I mean, I still like it because I do think it served as a good introduction for Thor, but like early Marvel was kind of this weird vibe where they're still trying to figure it everything out.
And they tried to have him on Earth for some reason, which I didn't feel like fit. Even though it fit the story, I don't know, this god on Earth.
Okay.
And this was the only first phase movie that didn't make me go, wow, that was a great movie.
Oh.
I loved Iron Man.
Yeah.
I loved Captain America.
Yeah.
Thor was just... okay, well, I didn't watch that in the first phase. I watched that way later. I liked Hulk. It also didn't make me go, wow. It was like, oh, it's a pretty good movie. But I watched Thor, it was like, a little underwhelming. For the God of Thunder.
Alright.
Yeah, for what...
It was just an underwhelming movie for me.
It took
that's why
a
it's
while
in my
to-
bottom 3. So.
Yeah.
And then they really didn't hit its stride until the third movie. You had to get the right director and writer behind it. Because Taika Waititi took Thor and made him really, really good. And I have high hopes for the next Thor movie. So.
Yeah.
Can't
wait
all right,
for
so
that.
now we're gonna do the
I guess that was all of them.
yeah.
That was.
And then so
all
we're gonna do top 3. We'll
Top
start
three.
with RJ again.
So...
And yeah, like I said, if the new stuff is also in your top 3, which I don't know if it is for you guys, then you can include that in there too.
Okay.
So
working from...
I didn't include like the TV series or anything in mind.
Okay, then you
I like
both
the
will just
movies.
place it where you think you'll put it.
All right.
Yeah. I guess I'll say that after I do the 3.
Okay, we'll after we do our top 3, we'll say where it is.
Okay.
So, going from 3 to 1, Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
I love that movie.
The visuals really
That's what.
are
Yeah.
what get it for me.
My mom likes that movie.
Yeah.
We watched it on TV and she really liked it.
It's amazing how well they animated the what is it?
Mirror dimensions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Looking at that in a comic book hurts my eyes, but seeing it in a live action movie is like crazy.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Right above that, I have Black Panther.
Okay,
The
great movie.
The music
Music also very good from that
and
movie.
just the authenticity of the African vibe for it, because the director actually did his research. All of the outfits.
Ryan Coogler?
Yes, all of the outfits and everything he did, all of the makeup design, all of the visual effects that were supposed to make it feel like it's in Africa. He went to actual tribes and stuff and got inspiration from real tribes. Some of them are like more known ones, like the Nairobi.
Okay.
And then, of course, there's the lesser known ones, but he did his actual research. So I feel like...
Well, and I like how he was able to do that. He was able to incorporate all the African dress and also make it a little bit more futuristic as well.
Yes.
I thought he did a really good job.
I was about to say that next. Yeah. He kept the technological advancements that Wakanda is known for, along with the African vibe, because this is still Africa. This is still the motherland. So they still are very traditional and all of that. But mixing in the technological part of it, making Wakanda like a Tony Stark type superpower, which is, I don't know if, quick tangent, don't know if you saw what the What If episode that's supposed to be about. Did you guys see anything about that? So there was a little leak. It's kind of a spoiler, but with Killmonger saving Tony from the thing, it ends up he sponsors Killmonger.
Oh.
And it becomes a whole, like, Killmonger, Tony Stark tech versus Wakanda.
Interesting.
That'll be really interesting.
So, like, redoing the movie. So, kind of like what we were saying, how all these episodes might be, like, just each movie is different. I think they are doing that based off of this.
Cool.
But, sorry.
No, you're good.
But
I mean, it at least relates to things.
Yeah.
Unlike Cyber Chain.
If it actually does do all of that, it'd be really interesting to see if they do like a what if episode for the Incredible Hulk, and just like what if the Incredible Hulk movie was in the MCU?
The most truest form of what if.
Edward Norton voices Hulk.
God damn it, man. But, so, for number 1, I have Spider-Man Homecoming.
Nice.
Really?
I really love... So, first of all, Spider-Man is my favorite, like, hero.
Me too.
Marvel hero.
Well, now behind Daredevil after I've watched the show, but he's my second favorite.
Understandable.
My bed sheets when I was little were Spider-Man.
Hey,
Same,
nice.
yes.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire, like, he had me hooked, man.
Yeah,
Nice.
he really did. And Tom Holland has given me that same, like, childlike wonder that I got from the first Spider-Man, where it was like, oh my god, this is a superhero. I can be a superhero.
Yeah.
But Homecoming is such a good, and I also like how it's technically an origin, because they talk about his origins a little bit in more in depth than they do in his Civil War appearance. But it's also not an intro movie, because there's already stuff that's been going on, and this is like transitioning past that. It's supposed to be like, so it's a sequel, but it's also the first one. It's weird, but I really like the hominess of it. Of the
Yeah.
And also just it really showcases Tony's change from Iron Man 1 all the way till now, how much he's grown not only as a person, but as a hero, as a mentor, as all this other stuff, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird seeing Doctor Strange take that place.
Yeah.
I think
because he's not been in the MCU very long.
Yeah,
but you have seen a lot of growth from him in the little time he's been there. So.
Yes, and he's like pretty much a completely different person. I mean, he's uses sarcasm now.
Yeah, well, and instead of tech, he's magic. So like it's a completely different realm from Tony Stark too.
Yeah.
So it'll be an interesting dynamic moving forward between them.
This is a great segue into my list, though, because my third favorite is actually Spider-Man Homecoming.
You guys will hate my list.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely hate it.
For all the reasons that we said here, it's like everything that I felt Spider-Man Far From Home did not have to offer as a sequel, Spider-Man Homecoming does. It's like a small scale thing. It really focuses more on Peter. You have a lot of I absolutely love this scene where Peter realizes his homecoming date's dad is the Vulture, the guy who's fought, and they both realize, and the whole card over there is super tense. Great stuff. And they keep it all small scale. Like if Peter had lost, all that would happen is dude got some more tech, and it's like this world ending thing where that every other Marvel thing always tries to steer towards that. It really stayed true to this neighborhood superhero.
And Vulture didn't die, right?
Yeah, no, Vulture didn't die either, which is great.
He's just in prison.
Yeah,
which
is supposed to set up the whole Sinister Six, and it's supposed to.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys remember talking about the Ravencroft thing.
Yeah,
Venom,
you did. Mm-hmm.
All of that.
Yeah, we talked about that on our own in a different podcast.
Yeah,
I remember
that was the
Ravencroft.
The episode before that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I like Spider-Man Homecoming. It really has that rewatchability there, and then also for all the reasons that you mentioned as well. I just really like Spider-Man Homecoming. Number 2 would probably be Avengers Infinity War.
Okay.
Just for the same reason, everything that I thought Endgame didn't offer, Infinity War did. Even though it was those big battles, it was a world-ending thing. It had stakes.
Right.
Unlike a lot of the other Marvel things where it's like, oh, they're going to save the day, they're going to win. Here, they lost.
They lost.
Yeah.
And it was a very clear loss, too.
Yes,
There was no ambiguity.
Yeah.
It was very cut and dry.
Yeah.
Half of you are dead now.
I thought it was really well done. All the characterization was great. It wasn't like they were just background characters and like, whatever. It's like everybody had a role. I thought it was superb. Thought it was done very well.
Yeah.
Excellent movie. My number one, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I love that movie.
Wow.
I really, really, really liked
That's
Ant-Man
interesting.
and the Wasp. I thought it was great. I love Paul Rudd as like Scott Lang.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd,
too.
he's so good.
I
good at
thought the whole thing
everything
with
he
like with Ghost was done well. I thought everything with like Wasp was done well.
Yeah.
And it was also kind of like small scale.
You seem to like things where the bad guy doesn't die.
Yeah, I really
mean,
like things where bad
makes-
guy doesn't die.
It makes
It
the
does.
movie feel a little bit more
Well, they're
like
really-
it matters.
Yeah, and
if
there was-
the villain doesn't die.
And they weren't really villains either. It was more of just an antagonist.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. I thought the whole conflict where it was like you had, like Hank Pym, and there was Ghost, and there was also the guy who wanted like the tech and the whole thing at the end where they were
Fishburne's character.
where they were all trying to get it at the very end. And there were some parts where things kind of seemed unrealistic, things that wouldn't work out, but it was still like a really great vibe of the movie as a whole.
Yeah.
And it's two of my favorite post-credit scenes as well, like the tension where he goes in the quantum realm and then can't get out because all three people who knew he was in there
The
have
connection between that
have
and
been dusted.
Infinity War. is
Yeah,
so
just
good.
Yeah.
the moment the snap happened, and also when you have the very end scene there, where it's like the ant is playing the drum solo, and you have like the thing on the TV where it's like it's like the like alert thing, and like you see like helicopters off in the distance or whatever. It was so apocalyptic.
Yeah.
It was just it was great.
Yeah.
It was great. So that was my favorite one.
Yeah, I love that one too. That's in my top 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
is it number 11 then? 'Cause
number
that's a very specific.
Yeah.
Okay.
My number 3, for the same reasons you said, yours it was number 2, is Avengers: Infinity War. I love that movie, and as good as Endgame is, Infinity War to me is just better, and it's because of such a high stakes, and they lose. It's something that we don't see in superhero movies very much at all.
No, yeah.
Is that they lost, and this big epic thing, and it's just like, holy shit, now what do we do? Which is why, like, the beginning of Endgame, a lot too, because it's just like, they're recovering from Infinity War.
Yeah.
And a lot of the characters we all like died. Like, it was
Spider-Man?
It was crazy.
Spider.
I'll get to that after we're done here.
I mean,
But it's
he
just,
died.
but for the same
Yeah.
reasons that you said, and I'm just
Sure.
going to piggyback off you again. That is why I love Infinity War, and the battle between Iron Man and that guy who can move things is mine from the Black Order. I can't remember his name.
Oh,
That was so good at the beginning of the movie because
What
like
is
it
his
doesn't
name?
even wait
Yeah.
to get
Yeah,
going, and
yeah,
just
yeah.
how it goes from Thor Ragnarok and just immediately in.
Yes.
How it just fades into each other. Ragnarok, Infinity War,
Yeah.
and Endgame just fades beautifully into each other. It's just
Yeah.
so good.
I actually now have to change my placement for Endgame Infinity War.
Yeah,
'Cause I-
you've been
Well, I mean, I had both of them at 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still
okay.
both at the top, but I'd switch them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so number 2, and this will probably surprise you. I told you last time. My number 2 is WandaVision. I love that show.
So you didn't include like series?
I included the series, which
okay.
you guys can go back and put that in later because I'm going to do that as well.
Sure.
But I love WandaVision. I don't know why. It's just watching it with everyone else. Watching it with everyone else wasn't the greatest part because of all the speculation and stuff. And I know people didn't like the ending. I really liked the ending of the show, and just the homages at the beginning of the show were really, really good. And I liked the way they incorporated it. Went back and forth between the real world and Wanda's world. The only thing I didn't like is what they did with Agnes. They just kind of like, you stay here now. You're gone. You're done, and you kind of sit here for now.
At least Agnes is
I feel
alive,
like-
so at least Agnes wasn't like killed off.
Right. I also
completely.
love what's her name, her actor, the actor who played Agnes. She was in Step Brothers.
Yeah.
I remember.
I don't remember her name, but she.
Right.
I really
She's
like
hilarious,
her.
Yeah.
I thought she was. I thought everyone in the show did a really good job.
Yeah.
And I know everyone was expecting what's his name to be Quicksilver. I didn't buy that at all.
Yeah,
I didn't expect him to be.
I didn't. That was too easy for them to just throw it in there.
And the
And
jump.
I liked the way that they explained it away that he was just
some guy who lived there, and she was controlling him.
Right.
And I loved the jump scare for Vision. That was just a highlight of that show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was actually
because I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah.
I was like, she went back. Fuck.
Yeah.
It was so good. I just love that show so much, and that's
actually,
why it's my number 2.
I can't put any of the shows in
your
the
top.
same.
That's fair.
That's
understandable.
Just because they're so, for me, there's so much more to the shows than there is in any single movie. It would be like I would have to do it by episode.
That's fair.
I would have to put.
So that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make him. No, I'm not gonna make you do it. But
well, I mean,
now we're just gonna just throw it in somewhere. But
if anything, it
what number 1 do you have? Then?
For the same reason you have it, I think at 3 is Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Oh wow.
The
Sweet.
effects
Okay.
in that movie were just incredible. The acting is really good. I
It's-
actually really like.
It's acted so well.
I really like Stephen Strange's journey from being an absolute asshole to being it almost mirrors Tony's a little bit. But he matures a lot in the movie.
That was the one thing I didn't like about.
And
Doctor
I guess that's
Strange.
why he's gonna be Peter's new.
Yeah, is how similar his downfall and rise was
to Tony's,
because
except using
he's the best.
Magic.
Right, he was the best at what he does, and then something happened to where it almost killed him, and he couldn't do what he was doing anymore, so he had to change. And then he also ended up changing his point of view on life, also.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Right.
I like that, but I really like the
special effects and stuff.
Yeah, but I was gonna say I really like the Doctor Strange origin from the animated movie, from like way back when there was no such thing as the MCU. But it was that, just to briefly go over it, his backstory was he was still a best surgeon, but his whole motivation was to never let anybody die because he did the surgery on his sister and it failed and she died.
Oh man.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I thought that was a lot deeper than him just being an asshole.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I can understand being good at your job and being a dick about it, but the level that he was didn't really make as much sense as it did if it would be for he's so good at his job because he was motivated by something so tragic.
Right.
But I still absolutely love that movie.
Right. For some reason, I like characters like that who are, and maybe it's because I'm an asshole. I love assholes.
Yeah.
And that's a big criticism of Captain Marvel is that she's an asshole. She thinks she's better than everyone else. I actually really like that
She's
about her
just
character.
sassy. That's all.
I just like that. I like that about her character. I like that about Tony, and I like that about Strange. So I'm very, very excited to see what the second movie is, especially since my top 2 favorite Marvel projects are involved in some way. Also, my surprise thing was I hate Spider-Man in the MCU.
Oh yeah.
I do not like.
Oh,
No.
man.
Now
Wow.
the way we all felt for Tobey Maguire, I felt that about Andrew Garfield. I really like Andrew Garfield's.
I can understand that.
Now that also might have been because I was younger when those came out.
Yeah.
But I'm not like Tom Holland does a really good job.
Yeah.
I just don't think. I think he relies too much on Tony.
So here's the thing.
I mean, he can't now.
Obviously.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I think
It wasn't his tech now.
I think what really makes the 3 differ so much is
they're all super different. I hate them when people compare them.
Yeah.
Which I kind of
here's the way I like to explain it. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was a really good Peter Parker. Like almost perfect Peter Parker.
Sure.
Andrew Garfield was an almost perfect Spider-Man. Tom Holland blends Peter Parker and Spider-Man together.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Well,
I've heard that from people.
It's almost like they're not any different, and they're not supposed to be. It's supposed to be just Peter in a suit. And the way Tom Holland does, in my opinion, he makes the character, the 2 separate characters blend so well together that it's like the only thing that would make, like, if you were blind, you wouldn't be able to tell that he's Spider-Man now, or that he's Peter Parker now, or like which one he's supposed to be doing.
He does do really well with the quips, which I don't think the other 2 did as well.
Andrew did. Andrew did a really good. I really liked his quips. He was a very typical high schooler, jackass, smart ass, and just, the scene with him webbing up that one dude against the wall, where he's like sneezing. That was I was dying in the theater for 30 minutes after that from that one scene. It was just.
But
so
yeah,
good.
both those movies are 22 and 23 on my list.
Oh,
They're
wow.
2 above my third worst.
Oh, so you included the other Spider-Man movies then?
No, I included the shows.
Oh, okay.
So, really quick, the shows for me, because I'm going to have to hit the road soon.
That's fine,
because it is starting to get a little bit late here.
We are at 2 hours and 8 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
We are 2 minutes
I
from our
didn't even,
longest.
I didn't
So,
even say my shows. Too.
Yeah, including the shows, if I was including them in the ratings, I would probably put Loki right above Spider-Man and WandaVision right underneath Spider-Man.
So 3 and 4,
Yeah.
or
5.
3 and 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier was good, but it's probably somewhere like middle of the list, probably a little more towards the bottom, just because I didn't like what they did with when they
So like
characters
15 through
like
20.
I didn't like the Power Broker arc. That kind of took me out of things.
So
Just
like
kind of
15
weird,
through 20
weird
around
stuff
there.
with villains like this. Whereas Soldier Serum, it still had a lot to offer. I still really liked the series, but it's a lot of the stuff in it. I was kind of like, yeah.
The other stuff was but the main
Yeah.
thing with Sam and Bucky was really
Yeah, they did that really well.
Do you have an obvious spot you'd rank the shows?
I'm gonna go ahead and just say I'm putting them off to the side in their own category.
That's fair.
All right,
And
but
eventually we're just gonna do that because there'll
Yeah.
be so many shows.
Yeah, I'm gonna just out of all of the Marvel shows that I've seen, I would have to put Loki at like right in the middle because it's
Alright.
good. It's good, and I really like the inclusion of
Alligator Loki.
yeah.
Alligator Loki.
I mean that's just comedy gold.
Yeah.
And then Kang the Conqueror being
Yes.
well
Yes.
not the actual Kang but what
Immortus.
Immortus, yes. I thought it was really interesting for them to do that the way that they did.
Yeah.
And then, but my favorite out of all of the shows, like including the Netflix ones, is probably Luke Cage.
That's fair.
Oh,
Luke
nice.
Cage.
Okay.
Number 1, Luke Cage. Number 2, WandaVision. Number
Sweet.
3 is Jessica Jones.
Sweet.
Just because they did all of the story in all 3 of those is so fleshed out yet so not to where it's not like suffocating.
What about Falcon, the Winter Soldier?
I would have to put that tied with what did I say number 3 was?
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones. I would have to tie that with Jessica Jones just because it's so short, but the messages that they have in it are so good for me in my opinion.
Right.
Obviously I put WandaVision number 2 for Marvel or the MCU stuff.
Oh yeah, you're gonna go through yours.
I put Falcon and Winter Soldier at 15. I put Loki at 17.
Wow.
I did not like Loki. It was the last 3 episodes that killed it for me.
Yeah, I could. Yeah,
I did not like the last 3 episodes.
The last
Well,
All
everybody, you've heard from the experts now. This is the definitive ranking.
if your list is anything other than what any of us said,
you're wrong.
you're wrong.
Yeah.
Drop your list in the comments if you're on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah.
The 2 of you that watch on YouTube.
And if you're on Spotify, then petition for a comment section on Spotify podcasts. But
leave a review.
Yeah.
Rate the podcast.
Unless it's
we
bad,
need that.
in
That's
which
cool.
case,
No,
don't
then don't do that.
Don't leave it.
Don't waste your time.
Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to me on
Not
YouTube.
Brennan, Wolfgator, Lay, RJ, Broom. Right?
And follow us on
Perfect.
Instagram at Chip Roasting. You guys have a great week.
Bye. This is our last one in person for a while. Probably we'll be back. Bye. Peace.